everyone. It's your man Spin Nation here, and as always, joined by my man Riders Up Tim. Tim, how are you, buddy?
Glad to be back. Had a busy week over the last week at work, so I wasn't able to make it in last week. Dropped by just in time to drop a winner in the chat there for the last race, but sorry I couldn't join you last week.
No worries, my man. No worries. But we're glad to have you back today, and we're heading back up to our friends at Woodbine. And again, Woodbine, thank you so much for always letting us show your races and hoping for a great night. And also the thing you see there in the corner, Iron Bets, who is our new sponsor up there. Check their website out. Some exciting things coming up before the Breeders' Cup, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. So,
and you know that this is a new ADW by horse players, for horse players. You can see it there at our up top. The horse players always first. Make sure that you put in our sponsor code when you visit the website there. And in addition to the matching that they are doing for everyone, you'll get an additional $20 just for putting in our code there.
Can't beat that. Trust. Yep, absolutely. So Bobby D's already in the house. So hope exactly. So we are excited here, and we'll bring our friends up here in 1 second here, so I can just get us going here. Going back up to Woodbine. Tim, can't believe it. We are just less than a week away from the Breeders' Cup starting.
And what a Breeders' Cup it's going to be, Sean. You know, I was looking at one of the videos today that came out on the channel. And speaking of which, I'll just throw this out there really quickly. There is so much content coming out on Trust the Profits right now. Sean's got a great video coming out. The Formula and El Hombre put a couple of videos out today. Make sure that you check those out. But we've got so much great content coming out for the Breeders' Cup. And I was looking at the video this morning that came out, and somebody's comment that they said that this was a weak Breeders' Cup. I could not disagree more.
Yeah, I think this is one of the strongest we've had in like 15 years, top to bottom. This is just a great Breeders' Cup.
You know what I think they mean, Sean? I think they mean that when you look at a lot of the U.S. horses, there's not as strong as what we've seen, but maybe there's a little bit of fear because our overseas contingent is coming in loaded.
Yes, exactly. And then from Europe and from Japan, this is the true international Breeders' Cup. Like this one right here, more than probably anyone in history, is a true international Breeders' Cup, and I think it's very exciting. You know, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. The Japanese bringing in 19 horses, and
they're all live. Exactly. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we'll continue to talk about that through the night, but let's talk about the Great White North.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to the Woodbine, exactly, and it's a beautiful day up at Woodbine. So they are on the inner turf. And the fourth race, 5 furlongs on the inner turf, claiming $25,000 for 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races.
Love to see it.
And obviously, Tim's got the first race because this is right up his alley.
You know, it's one of my favorites.
Always one of his favorites, exactly. So this should be a very interesting race for sure. Exactly. And and interesting, Tim, for anyone who knows Tim like we have, his theory on non-winners of 2 races are great. But when I was actually looking through this race, it was a little challenging to find like one horse that would top the list here, Tim, in terms of using your theory, which I thought was interesting.
It could be a little bit there could be a little bit of a perception here that they're kind of similar. I think there are a couple that stand out a little bit, and I'll talk about a couple when we go through it here. But yes, you're right. There are about 3 of them here that are really close.
Yeah. So I will give you my top 3 here, my friend. And the first one I went with was the won Daddy Send Money, ably and for Mike Dunslow. And these two have combined almost for 20% with a 21 uh, race survey. So obviously, this kid does very well. He's a great kid. He's a very good turf rider. He lost his bug, but he hasn't lost a beat. He hasn't lost a step since he did that, which is great. And I just thought this horse was just interesting. I throw the fifth out. That was on a good track, and that was versus Garfoil and Super Rush, who are not in this field. And then the Vice Regent, I mean, going up against Outlaw Kid and Forrester's Fortune. Are you kidding me? And not many in this field would even be close to them. But I like the fact that he brought him back for 25,000 on the thing. Jason, very solid third, coming back, gets back on the turf, and you look at his one race on the firm turf, on the inner turf, 5 furlongs, got a nice 67 buyer. And I think that this is a group that I think he can definitely handle, and I think he's going to be really tough in this position. My second pick was Dryden, owned by the Anderson Farms and Kevin Attard. This horse, a very impressive last race coming out there in the maiden optional, and but even on the turf, ran against Ready to Collect, who interesting is in this race as well, the 6. On this track, and he's actually my third pick. My second pick. Which, this is why I was getting to Dryden. If you look at Dryden, he lost to Ready to Collect, who's the 6 horse. I actually made the 6 my second pick because I like this horse. The fact that look at his 2 races on the inner turf, first by 3.5, and second to Live Lucky, who's a stakes horse, right? So the 6 has really faced like some really good horses on the inner and has done very well. And as I always say to people, he tried the outer. There are some horses up there that love the inner. There's some that don't like the outer. And this horse clearly likes the inner, and maybe the outer, though it was $100,000 race and still ran well. So my 3 picks are 1, 6, and 2.
All right. When we look at the non-winners of 2 angle, the one thing that I look at when I'm evaluating those first races, Sean, is we've got obviously a turf sprint here. So one of the things I'm looking at is who won on the turf, and if the one win wasn't on the turf, then to me that's a significant difference. And even if the horse may take to it eventually for the condition, that's something that I kind of weigh heavily. So sure. I like the 2 and kind of the way it fits here a little bit, but he did win last time out on the synthetic, and yes, he was in that race with Ready to Collect a couple of back. But didn't seem to do as well on the turf. So I downgraded his win a little bit based on the fact that it was on the synthetic. The 3 horse in here, Victory Town, this is a horse that in that last race back on the 27th of September, that was also a non-winners of 2. And this was my top pick in there. And this is the horse that I rated that day as being the best. And just missed that timeout. And that was at 5.5 and on the synthetic, although this horse's win is also on the turf. I think the turf races for this horse, which have all been a little bit longer, the horse hasn't run this short. But I think that if you look at the speed and you look at the speed that this horse has shown, and even on the synthetic last time out, I think that he's really going to like this cut back in distance here, getting back to what I think is the preferred surface of the turf. So despite the fact that he gets my friend KK, Sean, I have to put the 3 on top. And then if you look, he's got a nice work since then. And it was only a 3 furlong, but that's pretty fast, 35. Anytime you're going sub 12s in a 3 furlong like that, I like that. So I think he's sharp. I think he probably does graduate from non-winners of 2 here and get his second win. Interesting, Sean. My second pick here was a 6, so we're right together on that, ready to collect. I agree with you. This is a horse that basically won at third asking on the turf at 5 furlongs. Like you were talking about a little bit there. Then went to stakes class and was outclassed a little bit, but that again was against Live Lucky, who he had run against and didn't embarrass himself in the stakes. And then last race out, we're going to say the horse, he if you look at the beginning of that, totally out of the race from the beginning. So
totally.
basically I think in that one, Hoyt just basically said, we're going to run around the track and get a little paid workout here. And they're going to come out this time, but I expect to move forward for the 6 horse. I like that one quite a bit in here. And then for my third pick, despite what I said about putting the horse on top for Dryden, and the fact that this one just broke the maiden last time out and is running against winners for the first time, I think this horse just fits here. Kevin Attard, Saheen, we know the connections and what they do here at the track. I mean, they only win 32%. So, but I think the 2 is going to be really tough there. I did look at Abley in this one horse. I just had the horse. If I had to put a horse fourth, the 1 is probably it. I was 3, 6, and 2 in here. We'll take a look as we see the horses and hit the track, and we'll figure out with that and with what you like how we're going to approach this wager.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. Joe T, how are you, my friend? Great to see you. Sean Heron, how are you? He's got a pick 4, 2, 3 with 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 with 3, 5 with 2, 3, 7. Let's get a winner, definitely, Sean. Dan, how are you, man? Hey guys, could the 4 like the turf get to an early lead and hang for a piece? You know what, Dan? The instant reaction would be, oh, look how good he ran at Fort Erie. But that was in the slop. That was at Fort Erie. He's back to Woodbine versus some really talented horses. He would really have to step his game up in this inner turf to be here with. And I don't think the presence of the 3 or the 2 help him at all in terms of like trying to clear this group. So if Marley does, God bless them. But I think that's a horse that may need another day and possibly get on the synthetic, not the turf.
Yeah, I to be completely honest, I had the 4 dead last in here in my handicap.
I don't see him lasting, especially with that talent up front. But we have a great crowd already, 30 on hand. No problem, Dan. Absolutely. That's why we're here. But if you like them, by all means, I always say that. Exactly. Yep. If you like them, play them. Exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. The value. I'd say if anything, value right now, Dan, is a 6 at 8 to 1. Considering he's already beaten the 2 once.
I love the 6 here. And Sean and I both had the 6 second. And And I just think at 8 to 1 that horse is completely live here.
Yeah, absolutely. So great to have everybody aboard tonight. Yeah. And hard to believe, Tim, closing weekend at Keeneland.
Man, I'm sad. I got my Keeneland sweatshirt on. So we only got 2 more days. Day 15 was today. We got day 16 and 17 of the 17-day meet coming up here tomorrow and Saturday. I'll have a video coming out in the morning. I've got a cap in the card. I'll give my top pick and value pick for each of the races for Saturday. That'll be out tomorrow morning. So look for that.
Yes, definitely look for that, folks, for sure. Now, will you be there on Saturday?
You know what? I've been there every Saturday so far, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it up this weekend. I haven't decided totally against it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it this Saturday.
Okay, because
I'll tell you where I will be this weekend, Sean.
Where's that?
Sunday, I'm going to be at opening day at Churchill.
Yes, fantastic.
So Sunday is basically their baby races day. So it's like all 2-year-old races.
Oh, very exciting.
I love that day. I love going there on that day and seeing all the horses. And you never know when you go out for that day, you might be looking at next year's Derby winner.
Right, absolutely. And if you do go on Saturday, Tim, you will see the talented Oscar Performance baby Tricari.
Yes,
who is running at Keeneland on Saturday. So
Yes,
that will be
absolutely. I,
exciting.
I I was looking at that one in my handicapping. So
Yeah, exactly. So, and they're coming onto the track here. We always like to see how they're looking out there. Bobby D's got an exacta 3-2 with 1-8 and a win on the 8. And we're joined by the Formula. Hey, Formula.
Yo, gentlemen, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting myself set up here. Don't mind me, just in the
No
background.
problem. Exactly. We got a fun field of 9 here going
Ooh,
on
that's
to
a
the
good
inner
number.
turf.
he's
Yeah.
he's got to pour his Negroni and
Yeah.
I have two options today. I have Jungle Bird and Mai Tai.
oh,
So
Ooh. Okay.
my
I
tie
like,
sounds
going
festive.
going a little sweeter today than the Negroni.
I like it. There you go.
If anyone out there in Profit Land has a preference of what I will drink tonight, I will take the first person who says it.
There you go.
Between
Which
Mai
one
Tai
is it,
and
folks, that he will drink tonight? Let him know. Interesting that Alyssa and Jeff are singling the two here, which I find interesting on their ticket. That's a brave single.
It is to me as well.
That is a brave single. But the
all singles are brave, I will
yeah,
say.
exactly. Also, especially at Woodbine, they're very brave.
Oh, especially at Woodbine. Yes. My gosh.
Very
I used to
brave.
feel more confident at Woodbine, but lately I looked at the numbers and I'm like, how does anyone single at this track?
Yeah, exactly. And what does the who does the Formula have in race 4 at Woodbine?
Yeah, give me a
Yeah, go
one
for it.
little
Second, yeah.
second here.
There you go.
Race 4 we're at.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wow, if I were going to single any horse, I would single the 7. If
7.
I were going to
Okay.
give you one horse to single, it would be the 7, followed by the 5. I really like the 5 here, and I think you're getting a great deal, good quality on the 5, followed by the 2. Um, and then I think we would round out with the 3. Yeah, I think I like those horses in that order: 7, 5, 2, and then 3. Um, yeah, the 7 just grades out a little bit better for me. Jockey trainer sire combination there, in terms of percentage of record for the races he's had. I think he's a little bit better here. The 2 definitely has better speed figures at the park and at the distance, distance and surface combined. Only 3 races to his name though. Just recently broke his maiden, so he's coming up here for a claiming race for the first time. So that's, with a 5-2 favorite, I think you're putting a lot on that horse. Yeah, I like the class here for the 7 as well. The class, I think, is a little bit higher than the rest of the field, especially the last class value. He's coming off of a 100K plus race. At this distance, he sits close to the pace. Mark Cassidy, Patrick Husbands. I mean, that's a pretty good combo right there. The 5, 12-1 morning line. Really like that horse a lot. Had my second jockey trainer sire combination. Second in terms of best value in race one. Sits close to the pace. I do like that. Doesn't lose a lot either. And I do like the trainer here, Pat Parente, I believe is
Yep.
or Pat Parent.
Yep.
In terms of trainer numbers, I've got him a little bit higher than Mark Cassidy actually. So that's where I have him. And of course the 2 talked about him. Speed figures at the park, speed figures for the distance, right out at the top, but only 3 races to his name. Best last race. So that win that he had, breaking his maiden, shows up real nicely. And then the 3, I think the 3 is going to be the pace setter here, most likely. Maybe getting a little bit of push from the 4. There's a lot of horses that do like to sit close to the pace, but I think he's more likely to be on the pace and decent speed figure. So that's my quick rundown for you right there.
There you go. Thanks, sir. And Charles B's got a 156 box exacta try, and Bobby D's got a saver pick exacta 5-2 with 9-3. Now, interesting. Where do you have the 6 rated? Because the 6 actually beat the 2
Yeah.
on the turf.
I don't have the 6 actually that high. I've got him as my 6th horse overall. In looking at him though, combination of best class win, he's got the best second best class win of the bunch, at least in the last 10. But some of the other things sort of fall apart for me for him. So jockey trainer sire combination of things outside of the horse are a little bit wanting. Speed figure's a little bit down in terms of where he sits off the pace, just off, but he also fades back a little bit more than some of the other horses I like. Just looking at him on paper seems to be okay, but I think the people are, I hate to put it this way, but you know, the trainer and the jockey better on some of the other horses, and that could make the difference here, in my opinion.
Okay.
But you do get good value here at 9-1. If you like that horse, there are a couple notes on here that I have that are positive for him. So yeah.
Good. Okay. So we got 5 minutes to go. Everyone on the track is looking pretty good in this race. Nobody disqualifying themselves in my eye, Tim.
Yeah, and I like both of my horses, and that's the 3
Yeah.
and the 6. And I thought that the 6 actually looked better than the 3 on
Yeah,
the track.
yeah.
I love how the 6 looks on the track.
We got Mike Casano in the building. Hey, Mike, how are you? Mai Tai or Jungle Bird for the formula? Which one does he drink tonight, folks?
I gotta pop one of them. So the first
Yep,
person.
yeah. Get your votes. Get your votes in. And let us
First
know what you're
one to
drinking.
answer, that's what he's drinking. Let's go.
Yeah.
The man is thirsty. Will somebody hurry up?
So we got, and look at this board: 5-1, 3-1, 3-1, 7-1, 7-1, 9-2.
Love it. Getting 3-1 in 9-horse race as your chalk is about as
Yes.
good as you get, right?
I agree.
In terms of
Yep,
disparity, sorry about that. We should be getting some value here.
absolutely.
I'm gonna do a quick switcheroo here.
No problem. Yeah.
There, that'll work.
Everybody looking good on the track.
All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes. We just clicked down, I think. All right, I'm gonna play a nice, easy $6 exacta here. So I'm gonna play it for 2. It's gonna cost
Yeah.
a total of 6. I am just going to key one way, not up and down. I love the 3 so much. So I'm gonna key the 3 on top, and I'm gonna play the 3 with the 2, 5, and 6. 3 with 2, 5, 6.
Like that. Love it. Yep. There you go. So everybody out there, it's going to be the key 3 with the 2, 5, 6.
So a $2 exacta, there you have it right there on the screen. $2 exacta, 3 with 2, 5, 6.
Yeah. Keep it nice and simple early here.
Yeah.
I love the 3 formula. Before you came in, this was actually my my horse that graded out as best non-winners of 2 last race, and just missed. And that was on the synthetic. One thing when I grade these non-winners of 2 is I like to see the 1 win be on the turf, on the surface we're running on. Some of these, like your 7 as an example, sure. I looked at the 7 a lot because of the win. But the one thing that I kept going back to is when I was running the 7, all of the 7's best numbers seemed to come at Gulfstream to me. And Gulfstream and Woodbine are completely
totally different turf courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason I didn't like the 7, and you know, because the numbers make the 7 look really good, but when I did the sanity check, it's because the numbers come from Gulfstream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex is in the house. Slappy Joe's back with us, going across in the 1. 6-1. Mike Casano's got a 1, 3, 6, 7 try box. Good luck to everybody. I'm going to take this off just for 1 second here, just so I can get the sound going here for us.
And the probables right now, in the exacta probables, the favorite in the probable pool for $2, you've got a 2-3 on top right now. That's paying $25.90.
Wow.
But our 3, if you look at the 3 on top with the 2, the 5, and the 6, it's 27, 49, and 60.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what happens when you you have a favorite that is 7-2,
Exactly.
right? I mean, you just get this disparity to where the pools are stretched out, and there's a lot of people in a lot of different combinations, and your combination doesn't get overloaded with money, and your share is going to be pretty nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we love Woodbine.
Yeah, this happens at Woodbine for some reason. Seems to happen better here than at other parks.
Yeah, and Dan's got 20 to win on the 2. Good luck, Dan. Who has now come down to your favorite at 3-1. Kyle Graves got a $2 exacta key box 6 with a 1, 2, 3, 5. Keith is in the house. Hey, Keith, how are you, my friend?
Keith.
Always great to have you. And Keith just helped me with my video last night. Thank you, Keith, for all you did. Appreciate it.
We'll have to get that posted soon. I know Hombre's working on some of the logistics for that, the thumbnail and getting it posted and whatnot, and figuring out there needs to be any editing done after the fact. But we do have a lot of videos coming out, a lot of
exciting
BC
stuff
videos
coming up this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Breeders' Cup season.
Capping the card, hopefully hitting the street tomorrow for Saturday at Keeneland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you guys like the cocktail lounge, you like it as much as we do.
Here it comes.
We are planning to do cocktail lounge Friday and Saturday, BC. So please do.
So please
set
join
your
us.
calendars accordingly.
Yes, absolutely.
Make your plans now. How better to watch the
starting
Breeders'
gate?
Cup
This race just
than
5 furlongs.
in the
It's on
cocktail
365 in a turf.
Right.
Getting
Yep.
late support now to be favoured is Dryden, number 2 at 2-1, 7-2 for Victory Town, number 3. Now out to 9-2, the 7 Royal Quality. As they move up for a start, it's Daddy Semmoney who's still
Alex
down
is
the track,
excited.
so Dryden is going to approach first.
More money coming in on the
Gate number
2,
2,
dropping
Daddy
down
Semmoney
2-1.
has
We
drawn
Yeah,
got
I
the
know,
rail
huh?
one of the
minutes
last
to go.
three forward.
And
Lot of
you know,
money.
the connections bring a lot of money there as well.
Very
You got
lightly
its
raced
hard and Saheen.
5-year-old.
Yeah.
Next is Victory Town, who's the grey. As they move up,
Alex
if you insist,
Parlay.
turning around behind the start
Very exciting.
for Markley
Mike
Buchanan.
Castane's
looking
got
for
a daily double
tonight.
1367 with
Insist
1711. Good luck, Mike.
Good luck, Mike.
Paparante sends out Celentano, who is moving to gate 5.
It's interesting within the
Celentano
comments. There's a lot of different people with a lot of
is
different
in
favorites.
and ready to
Yeah,
collect.
yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people like
This is one of those races
Going
you're a
forward.
genius afterwards, but in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
There's a
That's
winner.
why everything's
Dryden
paying
at
is
the
because
price
it's so
of
spread
$8
out.
to 1.
That 2-3,
8 to 1.
that 2-3 has actually come
Dryden
down in the
9 to 5
exacta
now.
pool. It's
Moving in
now
is Royal
2180.
Quality. Contrivance
Yeah,
blinkers are off.
The 2's 9 to
Last is
5.
Field Hockey or Daddy Semmoney, one of those two. Daddy
Yeah.
Semmoney
I don't think
just
first
behind the
time
gate, but
against
Field
winners
Hockey is now being let
and
up.
the win came on synthetic. That horse is going to have to be much the best.
So the inside and outside runners come to the line. Daddy Semmoney is going ahead to gate 1.
I think if
Scott
Saheen was on the 6th would be like 5-2.
Field Hockey
Ooh, easy. Yeah, I think you're right.
Giddy up.
is against Ice Hockey.
One of the reasons he
Giddy up.
Just
Giddy up.
Hockey.
Bucky
Field
Bronco
Hockey.
over here.
Proving a handful here for
Whoa.
Keve Nichols, but in the saddle,
Keve.
holding on as they come.
Whoa.
Oh,
Now
he did not get the
runners
full
getting
8 seconds.
cantankerous. Field Hockey.
No.
And now being let up riderless. So the last
no,
along,
Rick
Field
Johnson, how are you? It's got 3 with
So
1,
the
2,
last
5, 6,
riders
7,
to join
3
will
with
be
2,
Keve
7 with
Nichols
1,
to get
5, 6,
back.
9. And
7
Joe
to 1
T's got a
shot.
2-3 exacta box and 2-3
And the
to
field will be
6
sent away
try.
once he's settled in the saddle, and he's got one of the best ROIs of the meet on a long shot here.
Sloppy
Keve
Joe,
Nichols
worst
getting
rodeo
to
ever.
settle back in on
Very
Field
true,
Hockey.
Slappy.
The field is off. Great start for Contrivance. Away well, Field Hockey, Royal Quality, and in the centre, ready to collect. Up the inside, coming fast, Daddy Send Money, and going between runners now, ready to collect, is forging up to be 4th and settling in 6th. Victory Town. Dryden got back 3rd last from If You Insist, and last Celentano. About 5.5 covers the field, and in front Contrivance, pressed by Field Hockey. One away, Daddy Send Money, ready to collect, and Royal Quality. One to Victory Town,
Daddy
making
Send
ground.
Money,
Then If
ready
You
to
Insist,
collect.
Dryden bailed up 2nd last on the inside, and Celentano's last, and Field Hockey has gone to
Come
the
on,
front.
KK.
Down to the quarter, Field Hockey just in front of Contrivance. Joining in, ready to collect, and in the centre, Daddy Send Money. Dryden coming up the inside.
Okay,
Royal
he's behind
Quality
the
down
wall,
the
holds
outer.
his
Victory
knees, got a
Town
ton of
trying
horse.
for a run.
Evan's
Many
got good
chances here.
position there.
Daddy Send Money's gone
On
up
the
with Ready to
outside.
Collect.
There
Celentano's
goes your
finishing
3.
well, and Dryden.
Get him up,
And
KK.
down the outside is
Oof.
Victory Town. Dryden coming up the inside, and Dryden up the rail. Dryden has come through to win it from Daddy Send Money and Celentano. Ready to Collect is
215.
fourth in a finish that says a time of 56.90.
Is it 215?
215.
Yeah.
Our six was right there and got fourth, got nipped at the for third.
Yeah.
I had a win place on the 5, ironically. Missed the show.
And of course, I bet KK, and here we are again.
Yeah.
2, Dryden. Second
if you
is
followed
Send Money.
his usual
Third is
numbers and 2
5,
pattern, the 1 and 2,
Fourth,
those
6,
are my
Ready
top
to
2
Collect.
picks.
The unofficial top 4, 2, 1, 5, 6.
First,
quarter,
second, and 4th.
21 and
That
4. The half
Someone in here, I
more
think
and
Dan
4.
H.
56.
Look at that.
Yes,
The
Dryden
fast
is
run
always the
on the win.
spoiler.
5
Absolutely.
furlongs in
The
a
great
turf.
Ken
Nice work there,
Dryden.
Dan. Celebrate that one.
Well, it was just $6, 94. Lots of races left.
I know Charles was all over it. He had 156. Just he used a chalk with it. What a great move by Saheen up the rail.
Yeah. 156 is right there. Are we pulling Montreal Canadian goalie references out here,
Yes.
Alex? I think we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
A thorn in the Boston Bruins side for many years.
A lot of sides.
And listen, Jeff, what a gutsy single, but they get through on a single. Woo. And Dan had 20 to 20 win on the 2. Great job, Dan. Yeah, he did cost us 2 cups, absolutely. But then Bobby Orr came around, and then everything changed.
He went horizontal.
Right, Dan, a win is a win is a
Yeah.
win, my friend.
Yeah.
A win is a win. It does not matter, my friend. When you got that, you're cashing, you're advancing. Exactly.
If you want, I'll show the graphic. But yeah, a win is a win. Doesn't matter. You accept
Yeah.
it because you're getting
Yeah.
money coming back.
Yeah.
Gift horse.
But as we said, we're only is Gene Mr. Automatic. You guys any good?
Mr.
Welcome,
Automatic.
Gene. Exactly. We've our record shows we've been pretty good, my friend. If you've watched the last 30 or so
Yeah.
cocktail lounges, we've been pretty good.
Are you going out?
And
Yeah,
I don't
think of
think
the
I
last-
don't think we've hit the first race in like 80% of them, which is kind of weird. But we when we come back, you know.
What are you trying to say, Sean? You always give me the
Dryden,
first
who's
race. What are you trying to say?
In fact,
No, only
back to
kidding.
winner. Congrats going out to.
Hey, look,
I
have to
keep
Third,
losing.
who's had
It's
2
the
wins
pattern.
tonight, to Sahin Savaji with the double, to Anderson
Hey,
Farms.
Gene,
who
are you
bred
any
the winner,
good?
raced
Let's
the
ask
winner,
that.
and
Let's
Anderson
see in the
Farms
comments.
Montero
Let's see you hit a
Incorporated.
couple.
Well, welcome in,
The
Gene.
5-year-old.
But
Megan Great.
but seriously, what the last 6? I think we've only had one in the last 6 where we
One.
were below our starting point. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been a couple where we've been just like a little bit above,
Right.
but we've also had a
Yeah.
few where we doubled up our $100 starting bankroll.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. So
yeah,
we're
hopefully we're here today. Ooh, look at that configuration.
there. You go.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Like it. Let me get back to Woodbine here. Get us back up on the screen here.
Yeah. So we'll see. Are we any good? We've been good. Are we going to be good today? Remains to be seen. We'll
Yes.
do our best.
Absolutely. We'll get Woodbine back on the screen here.
With that. Very nice. Nicely done. That's our sponsor. ironbetsracing.com. I think I might even have a little quick presentation thing I can do here for them. No, I don't want that.
Yeah, Sean and I spoke to it, but if you could pull that up, that would be great.
Yeah, I've just got like a one-pager here somewhere. And let me just do it this way. Yeah, so ironbetsracing.com. They are not yet live, but they do have some deals coming up, and we're hoping that they're going to be live in time for BC because, look, they've got some really good deals. Like I said, using the promo code TRUST the profits, first word in our name, TRUST, you get an additional $20 on your first $100 deposit. But along with that, they do have some giveaways that they're doing, some random giveaways of 25, 50, 100, and 500 bonus bankrolls to certain lucky early signer-uppers. 400 tracks around the globe, 50% deposit up to $300. So if you deposit 600, you get 300 back. I mean, this is an amazing way to build up your bankroll going into BC. So yeah, ironbetsracing.com, as El Hombre said yesterday, this is someone that El Hombre knows, someone within the horse racing community. It's not some Wall Street guy who's trying to get rich off of horse players. This is someone who's designing a site the way he wants, the way he thinks it should be. And we're excited. We're excited to have him as a sponsor. We hope it's going to be a nice relationship going forward here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring these guys right back up here. So what we do when we don't win, we turn the page.
Turn the
right?
page. Turn the page.
The race 5 is 6.5 furlongs. Optional claiming 10.5. Purse 36,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of 5,000 or less in 2023. And we have 2 deletions here. We have the 4 Northern Ruby and the 9 Hell of a Holiday are both out of this race.
So let me answer Gene's question really quickly. He said, can I do iron bets from New Jersey? So they're still working on a lot of states. They've got more states to come, but I'll just run down this list really quickly. Alabama, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Tennessee, Vermont, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So no New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm not in Kentucky. I'm across the river in Indiana. So no Indiana, but we're hopeful. They're working on it. They said more states to come very soon.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yep, unfortunately not New Jersey, but hopefully it'll be soon.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the meantime, they're our sponsor. We're doing our best to promote them as much as possible. So by the time they do get online, you guys are aware of them and the deals that they have. And hopefully some of you give them a try and you're happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Gene, we usually don't do pick threes here. We're doing race to race. We will go through some of our favorites for each race. And we'll place, we've got a starting bankroll of 100. We probably get through about 50 of that in bets, and usually go a little bit higher and start bumping up that bankroll into triple digits if we're on our toes.
There you go. And Sean's in New Jersey. Can't wait for it to start. And Marv Beatty's back in the lounge. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Seen some names we haven't seen in a while. This is nice.
Exactly. So this we'll give you this race, my friend.
All right. I better get my notepad out here so I can listen to all the intelligent things you guys are going to offer me.
Yep. Tim, do you want to start with who you like here?
Well, he said he wants intelligent stuff. Can you text me something really quickly that I can say, Sean?
Oh, Tim.
All right, here we go.
We're scratching the 4 here. Sorry to jump.
4 and the 9. Yep.
Scratch the 4 and scratch the 9.
Hell of a Holiday, the 9. Okay. All right.
So basically in this one, we've got an optional claiming race, 10,000. This one is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of 5,000 or less in the last year or so. So also you can go in for a claiming price of 10,000 here. This is on the synthetic 6.5 furlongs. And in this race, I went back and forth with a couple of horses here, but I'm going to go towards the outside a little bit here to the number 10, Cleo Menace.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that's what it is, Cleo Menace here.
Mhm.
Jose Carroll with getting Luis Contreras up here. This is a horse who has been fairly consistent. If you look at those lines, they look pretty good to me. The one thing that I like in here is that this horse I think this distance is really the best distance for this horse. The last one, if you look, the horse was a whole lot closer until the stretch, and then that number looks a little worse at 7 furlongs. But I think the half furlong cutback here is going to be to this horse's favor here. I think that he fits on the slight drop down here in class. The 10 was my top pick. Then for my next pick, I've got a little bit of a value pick here coming in, and I'm going to go to the 7 Mountain Sound. This horse here, I know that a lot of the Fort Erie horses don't come in and do very well here, but the numbers just come out for me on this horse. And yes, the horse has been primarily on the dirt, but the synthetic races does have some, has been at Woodbine. If you look at those races, I think they're okay. And again, the horse does have a win over the surface. So, but 3 for 5 at the distance, 3 wins out of 5 races at this distance. This was a horse that I just kept coming back to, and I don't typically like the Fort Erie horses, but this one has enough Woodbine experience beforehand that when I went to those races, I'm like, okay, I see why my numbers fit here, because this horse has been here, was here more than he was at Fort Erie. And I just think we're getting some good value on a horse here that could probably be a piece. I don't think he's a win candidate here. Should I say, I don't think she's a win candidate, but I can't leave her out of my underneath picks here.
Okay.
And then for my last one, I went all the way to the inside, the 1, Lewis Lynn. This one is currently sitting at 7-1, but this horse I thought was going to be much lower, and I don't know why has drifted up a little bit here. But this is a horse, again, that's dropping down slightly. You looked, those races with Pietro were pretty good here. And then the last race with KK, not as good, but again, dropping down in level. And if you look, that was closing up at 6 furlongs. This is another one that I think the distance fit, and the horse really hasn't been running the distance. 2 races back, that line is on the turf. So, but when I look at those synthetics, the 2 races before that on 7 furlongs and 6.5 furlongs here at Woodbine, I think the horse fits. If you notice, I kind of completely avoided the 5 Galleyhead. I don't like this horse. I just don't. It's just like I kept looking at the horse. I get it here, but I just did not like the horse at all. So last time out, I get that race looks pretty good on paper, but it little bit of a different level here, and I just had the horse as others being better here. It would be my point.
All right, Sean.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, Tim and I are usually right on together. We're a little off here on that one because my top pick was exactly the horse that they're betting, the 5.
Wow.
Jamie
Tell me more.
Jamie Begg really. This is his first year up at Woodbine. And he's done a pretty darn good job with his horses. A couple of his horses were in pretty tough early, and his numbers would be better. But he knows exactly where to place horses. And with the money that Finger Lakes has gotten this year, Finger Lakes used to be really bad racing, but now with the extra money that they've gotten, everything, noticed more people like Dylan Davis and those guys are riding up there more. You got Carbar Koa, that Jackie Davis. The riders are getting better because the money's better, right? And Jamie, this horse came in 29-1. Sophia Stays, which I think is great. Got a 70 buyer. and look, even like at the workout, 7 out of 53. So even in the mornings, this horse just seems to like this track. I think this horse will be very tough because Jamie's just seems, especially within the last month. If you look at Jamie's numbers in the beginning, they weren't great, but he's really come on the last month, month and a half to where he's placing all his horses at Woodbine the right stuff. He's kind of learned their condition book and all that stuff, which takes time. So he was my number one pick. My second pick was the one, Lois Lynn, Michael Mateen. Austin Adams, this kid is really, really picked up his game since he's come back from France and riding in that thing. He was 1 for like 46 or whatever, but he wasn't getting real mounts. Then he started getting a couple of mounts. He's got an incredible confidence. And now look at those numbers, 14, 10, and 16. Those weren't even close. So he's really riding well. He's riding with confidence. Last time this horse got a bug, wire to wire. So this race is definitely in his wheelhouse with Austin. But he also can come from off the pace too. And that's where Austin's kind of a good mid-pack rider. So I thought that was an excellent pick for my second pick. And the third pick I had was the 10, Cleomenes, Carol and Louis Contreras. My fourth pick was the 6. Cleomenes, Josie Carroll, Louis Contreras. They've always been a solid group, except they used to be always 20-something%. They're only 11%. So they haven't been nearly as solid as a duo as they used to be. He was like rock money with her. So he's had a little falling off there in the last year and a half. Right. But the horse likes the track. So I was 5, 1, 10, and 6.
So we're not that far off. I mean, your second and thirds I have in my top
three. No, absolutely.
It's just that I'm fading the 5 because I did not like the 5.
Yep. No, I
that's the only
respect
difference
that
in our picks, really.
I respect that. Yep.
Yeah.
And Dick Bush, how are you, my friend? Has 7 over the 110 exacta tri-bucks. Bobby D has the 5-7 with the 1-3-12. Gene has the 7 Mountain Sound. Gene,
Formula,
1, 4, 5.
Did anybody ever tell you what drink to drink, and are you getting to open anything or not?
I just went ahead and opened the Mai Tai myself because I had never tasted their Mai Tai
there you
before.
go.
So.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Woo. Give me a lot to think about here, Sean. Because I after Tim started speaking, and he and I are almost 100% aligned on where we're going. I mean, if you box it up, we're pretty much aligned here. I had an idea in place for what I was going to play here, and now you're throwing the 5 in, and you're making me reconsider some stuff. And then you say the 6 is your 4th
race was against the boys.
Yeah.
Now she's back against the girls.
I went ahead and looked at the 5, and I see the value there in the 5. I get it. And it's not going to be earth-shattering for me to change this up, but there was another horse I really wanted to jam in. Here's my 4th horse. Yeah, and it looks like I'm going to have to reconfigure this in order to do so if I want to get the 5 in there.
We got lots of time.
I got some time to think about it, right?
Yep.
So let me at least talk through what I'm thinking here.
Sure.
If I go through my picks in the order that I would pick them in.
Yep.
Lois Len, the 1, would be my top pick.
Solid. Very solid. Yep.
Very solid. We all agree on the 1, Lois Len. My second pick, the 10. Simple. And I love the value we're getting on both of these, right? A 6 and a 5. Please give it to me. That's easy enough. All 3 of us agree on those 2. And then my third pick is the 7. I float on easily over to the 7. And that's probably the one I would have to rethink. But dang, I really like those 5 wins in the last 10 races, 7 in the money in the last 10 races. It's very difficult to overlook that. This is a horse that does close out very well, even at 6.5 furlongs. You know, the horse runs in a lot of 6, 5.5, 6.5 furlong races. Did run 8.3 last time out, but still, I mean, all the other numbers line up here for the 7. So I do dig that. The one thing I don't like about the 7 is class. If you look at the class of all the other horses in this race, they race at maybe double the class of the 7, but the 7's winning at those class levels, right?
Right.
As I said, 5 wins in the last 10 races, so he's classing up, or he's telling us he's ready to class
And
up.
and look how she looks right there. She looks good.
Yeah. And now you throw in the 5. I wanted to go with the 12. 6.5 furlongs. The 12 to
Yep.
me, even though on the outside looks like the pace setter. I've got this one as having a pace advantage here. It's going to get out in front, do its thing. There are a lot of horses in this race, though. We're counting 10 horses after you scratch 2 of the 12, so we're down to 10. With that being said, right, we're on Tapeta. That horse, if it gets worn down by a couple of the other horses that are in here, the 3, the 5, even the 10, 11, maybe he gets worn down and fades. She rather, right? But definitely a pace setter here. 2 gate to wire wins. There's a bunch of horses that have been pace setters. Last 3 races, this horse I have as being the pace setter. So you would think that horse is going to get pushed quite a bit. So I'm going through this speech to essentially say I'm trying to talk myself out of the 12 and into the 5, because Sean, I do trust your judgment on a lot of this stuff. You're pretty good at this. And the 12 is my 4th. The 5 is your 1st. So I got to put value in that.
Well, and let me add this to help talk you out of the 12. If you look at the post positions of 12 has never been this far out.
Exactly.
And when she has been a little bit outside, it's like worse races.
Yeah, and this horse is going to have to burn a lot of fuel from that spot in order to get out in front, come all the way across.
Yep.
Going to tire herself out. So I'm talking myself into the 5. Yeah, I think we can we can roll the All right, I'm just typing this up. Let's see. Yeah, we usually do these for $1. Total of, I think that's 18 then. Yeah. So this is what I'm looking at. Oops, I hit Gene there. Sorry, Gene. Right back to key box, where I'm keying the 1 with the 5, 7, 10. So the 1 has to be part of 1, 2, and 3. And then the rest of them get rounded out by the 5, 7, and 10. We're doing $1 trifecta key box, so the total of this is going to be 18, and I will deduct that now from our banner.
Okay.
I think this
Like
might
it.
count pretty much everyone's input, so I feel
Yeah, I
pretty
like
good
that.
about it.
Yep. Yep.
So 94 minus 18 brings us down to 76. And our bet is in place, and let us have a good time with this. I love the value that we're getting across the board here. The 1,
I
which
do
is my
too.
key, 6 to 1. Love that. The 10, in most cases, our second horse here, second or third. First horse for Tim, 5 to 1. Give me a break. And then the 7, we're getting 6 to 1. The 5, the favorite right now, 3 to 1. I think we hit this, guys.
So-
It's going to be a night changer.
So
Yeah.
listen to this. Your favorite in the probables for the exacta.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the favorite. 10 on top with the 5. 10 with the 5. But here's the amount for $2.
For $2, yes.
$43.10 is
It's
the
amazing.
lowest.
Isn't that
The
amazing?
lowest exacta
Yeah.
is a 10.5 at 42.70.
All right, guys. Let's hope all the homework pays off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let me talk through some horses that we didn't play here. Not that I want to jinx anything, but people are probably have some questions what we think here. I am passing. So I was very curious about Lady Eva, the 3. Any of you guys have any interest in her? 3 races, 3 gate to wire wins in 10 races. Sorry, 3 wins, gate to wire, in 10 races. I did have a high rating on her with one of my formulas, the one that picks out the longs. So she sort of popped out to me. I also have her as having the best race value win of the group. I had a 19.56 on her.
Yeah.
But in general, there are a couple things I don't like. The horse fades a lot. And I think in a race where we do have a couple horses we talked about pushing the pace, including Lady Eva, that could be dangerous. So I want a horse that will be on the pace but not fading as much here. Who else? We talked about the 5, obviously. The 6 I had is the second best jockey trainer sire combination. Second to the 10. I got a 24-5 on the 10, and I got a 19-1 on the 6. So a bit of a drop off there. We talked about the 12 already. I think that's going to be the pace setter, the horse that's going to want to set the pace, all things being equal. Grandma Horse Racing, thank you very much.
Thank you
Always
so much,
appreciate
Grandma.
it. Thank
Always
you very
great
much.
to see you. Hope you're doing
And,
well tonight, Grandma.
And we got a couple horses. So the 8, Gizmo's BFF, is a horse that I have as being more aggressive on the pace last time out, also having really strong speed figures. That's a horse that I was also kind of interested in looking at. But of course, right, we're looking at the whole field at this point, right? But that's another thing that stuck out to me there for the 8. But we went with the 4 horses that that I think we all came to pretty much an agreement on. Anyone else out there have anything, any feelings on these horses you want to point out?
Yeah, let us know. Yeah. Now the 10 is the favorite.
Love the 10.
Oh, look at that. We did flip over to the 10.
That early exacta money tells me that that's probably going to be where it goes. But
yeah, it's always a good indicator. And then looking at the daily double and pick 3 payouts too, can usually figure out from that where the money's going to go to as well.
yes.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. We're loading up here. We'll go through a couple of these. Gene, jockey trainer on the 7, by far the best. Gene really likes that combo there. T, the 2, 5, 12 are great horse compared to the other horses. Bobby D, agreeing with you, Tim. I really don't like the 12 at 6 or 6 and 6.5, but I did include it. Interesting. Of course, Alex, I feel like a grandkid again. I love you, Grandma Horse Racing.
Yep. She's the best.
Dick Bush loving the 7. Hey, at 7-1, I think we're all loving the 7 right now. We're hoping that's going to be in there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And T, $400 to win on the 7, $50 exacta on 7, 2, 5, 12. T's always bringing it. Holy cow. It's in a different stratosphere. And Marv, keyboxing the 1 with 6 and 10. Hey, Marv, we're pretty close on that one. We got the same key. We're both on the 1 and the 10. And T, one more thing on the 7. The 7 at Woodbine, I think, could possibly be a closer. I definitely agree with you. That is a closer in this race. The 7 is my really the only one that sticks out to me in terms of closing numbers. And I'm curious to see what will happen with the 12 here. Will she get the pace that I expect?
Let's find out.
Wow, really wants it.
Well, from the outside.
Afterburners on early.
Galley head, and also driving is Lady Eva, but a clear lead
And
for
Lady Eva, as
Delphia
I
from
said.
the outside to whisk clear by 2.5 to Lady Eva. Galley head in third from Lois Len, a length behind them, Mrs. Dell. Moving through in the center is Gizmo's BFF and Alberta Be Mine the outside. Then Make No Mistake, Cleomenes, and on the rail is Mountain Sound. Going along, charging clear, Delphia racing about 3 in front. At the half mile, Lady Eva second, 1 away third is on the inside, Lois Len, and the outer galley head from Gizmo's BFF, Mrs. Dell. Around them, Alberta Be Mine sweeping home. 2 lengths away came Make No Mistake, starting to run on, and then Mountain Sound, and last is Cleomenes. Down to the 5/16 and still 1 out in front, Delphia. A couple to Lady Eva, gaining a little bit of ground now, and Galley head, they're closing in.
Flying from the
2.5
back
to
of the pack.
Mrs. Dell, Gizmo's BFF, Lois Len, and coming through in the center,
12 is
Make No
definitely
Mistake.
fading
Galley
before the
head's
turn
gone up
here.
and hit the front. And coming down the outside, Mrs. Dell finishing
Take that
well.
inside.
And so too is Make No Mistake right down the outside. But Galleyhead burst 2 in front. Make No Mistake coming on strongly down the outside is the threat.
6.
Galleyhead a length, Make No Mistake wriggling home on the outside.
Seven,
Galleyhead trying
getting
to
up
hang
to
on
third.
the inside.
Gonna be
Make
5,
No Mistake is
6,
coming.
6, 1.
Galleyhead narrowly from Make
Oh,
No
the
Mistake.
1
One
got
ahead.
back up too.
About 5 away third, Lois Len, and then Mountain Sound from Mrs. Dell.
1 got back up,
1:17.50.
Yeah, we got 2 of 3, which pays 0. So our key got there. The favorite got there that we had, but we couldn't get that third horse there. The 6 ruined it for us. Who was in 4th? Just curious.
7.
The first quarter is
Huh?
22-2, a half
Ooh,
mile.
oh,
maybe not.
two.
The two.
Quarters,
Maybe in the
110
two.
and 4.
It
No,
looked
it
like
wasn't 2. I
Final
thought
time,
the 7 was going to get it.
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah, at full speed, it was close.
Galley head number 5
Yep.
has prevailed
10 did
over
not show up for us at all.
6.
No, the 10, I don't know why. I was
Third is
watching the
1,
10 because
lowest
the
length.
10 is who I liked, but the 10,
5-6-1,
they took the
and
10 all the
fourth
way
place
back. That's not a typical
Yeah.
move for that horse. I don't get it at all.
Okay. Alex is declaring that Formua's next wager will win.
Thank you. Yeah,
That was not
it
pretty.
definitely wasn't that one.
No, but
Yeah, 6
oh,
and
yeah,
pick 4.
yeah, Sean, yeah, that would have been great for you. Yeah.
Whew. All right,
KK.
so we had 5-6-1. So 5-6. Got any winners in the lounge here?
I was looking at the chat. I don't see any.
I actually
that
had
was
5-1-10-6.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Number 7, Mountain Sound, was 4th. So the numbers.
Yeah, we should have given
5,
Sean that
6,
pick.
1,
Why did it
7.
go to me? This one was close.
That was
Marvin's
very
close. He had
close.
the 6
Very
in there.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, very close. Yeah, the 7 got hit back early.
Should have gone with Sean.
Came running late.
Yeah.
And when Jamie really was having a tough. I even talked to him. And he said like at first he was having a tough time with the condition book, like learning it and like where to spot his horses, and he just wasn't. He said he just wasn't spotting them in the right spot, or there were too tough conditions. But he's really learned the condition book now,
Woodbine with
he's
success.
really coming on at the end.
After a second, a win. So 3-2-1 and into the winners list. Congrats to James Bentley Begg and Sophia Vives, winning owners of Galleyhead Valenti Racing Stable LLC. Bred in New York, this is a chestnut mare. She's a 5-year-old by Freud from Dublin Girl.
Yeah, the one got caught up in a little bit of a traffic trouble.
As the favorite, taking on
I thought the one was going to have a clear shot if she hugged the rail and took that home, but kind of made a move to push inside by a lane or two.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we're going to come back.
Yeah.
A good race in the 6th race. We're going to come right back. Only down $24. Early. It's early. We're going to come flying back. This should be interesting. And can you believe Formula? We're just a week away from the Breeders' Cup Friday futures.
There's official prices are now in, and the return.
Well, they juvenile races.
5 Galleyhead.
They did put that 7 fourth as well.
Mistake, $11
Yeah.
to place. 6 even to show, and that exacta 5-6 66.20.
Wow, 144.
Trifecta 5-6-1 $144.20. The Super 5-6-1-7 $1,966.40. The double 2-5 $23.80, and the
There's my
big 3
fax machine again.
Phone's
6
ringing,
into
dude.
2 into
Yeah,
4,
it's my
5,
fax
9,
machine
29,
again.
30,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 even. $154.05.
I need that for my internet.
Got it. So Birth of the Cool, it's not my favorite Miles Davis. It's not my favorite. I like Bitches Brew. I like Kind of Blue, Milestones, and Miles Smiles. Those are probably my top 3. But
did Grandma have that? Exactly, the filly on the filly. Exactly. Grandma, one of Grandma's best handicapping angles is a filly that's ridden by a filly. So it's a Sophie one on the filly. So I hope Grandma
Doubling down
had.
on the estrogen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was indeed, Grandma, a winner.
Yeah, for sure.
So we move to the 6th race here, my friends. Undaunted, we will move on. Get right to the 6th race here. Bring it right back up
Away
for
they
us
race, a
here.
very good start. Delphia best into
There
stride
we
from
go.
the outside, from Alberta Be Mine, and coming
There
through
we
nicely.
go.
Is
And
Easy
that is
Head, and also
optional
driving in Lady Eva, but a
50K
clear lead for
first
Delphia from the outside. Doors clear by 2.5
110,700.
to Lady Eva.
State bred,
Galley Head
another
in
for
third from Lois
3-year-olds and
Lynn,
up,
linked
which
behind
have
them, Mrs.
never
Dell.
won
Moving
2
further, second is
races.
Gizmo's BFF, and Alberta
There
Be
we
Mine
go,
the
Tim.
outside. Then make no
Here's
mistake,
where your
Cleomenes, and on the
expertise
rail is
comes in and
Mountain
gets us
Sound.
right back
Going
on
along,
the
charging clear. Delphia racing
ball
on
here.
about
You're
3
not
in
helping
front.
us here.
At
You'll
the
see.
half-mile, Lady Eva
Yeah.
second. One away third is on the inside, Lois Lynn.
No,
And the outer
I'll
Galley
talk about
Head from
why I said
Gizmo's
that here in a
BFF,
minute.
Mrs. Dell. Around them,
Fraction
Alberta Be Mine
7,
sweeping
6
home.
horses.
2 lengths
Ooh,
away
brutal.
came Make No
Yeah.
Mistake,
Let me
starting
turn
to run
off
on, and then
Geller
Mountain
here.
Sound. And last is Cleomenes.
See
Down
you
to the
soon,
final.
Robert. All right, there you go. Okay.
Oh.
Very good.
Yeah, in a race like this.
Yeah, this is a field of 7, but with a 7 scratch, we have a field of 6.
Yeah, I might just do like a simple exacta box, like a 2-horse exacta box or something like that. I'll give you my top 3 in a sec, though.
Yep. Let me know who your top 3 are.
Let me just scroll through here real quickly. So the number 2 horse, 6.5 furlongs in the 2 slot. I got a little bit of a pace advantage on that horse, and I'm going to go with it, especially since we're not talking about a whole lot of traffic here with 6 horses. Western Whirl. Got him as having the best value in terms of win. Got him as having the best win. What else can we say about this horse here? Yeah, pace. Pace was big. Jockey trainer sire combo is second to the 3, and the 3 is going to be my second play here. Currently at 1-1, and then I'll move over to the 6 as my third horse here.
Arabian
The
Prince.
6 definitely being the closer of the group. If he's able to get started without having a whole lot of traffic, having just a couple pace pushers, maybe he gets it done. Has some of the better speed figures of all the horses in this race as well for the distance and for the park. There you have it. 2, 3, 6.
2, 3, 6, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, who do you like, my friend?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
No,
Calling them as I see them.
that's for me because mine's chalkier than yours. At least you at least you put the 2 on top. I have it.
Oh, yeah.
I had it long before we saw how the public was going to bet it, exactly how it's being bet right now, which was 3, 6, and 2. The thing about the 3 here is that obviously this is another one like we just saw with that 2 a moment ago, who just broke the maiden and now is going against non-winners at 2, but there are no world beaters in here. Now, the one thing that when you do look at these horses, it's easy to look at the 2 horse to me and look at last year and say, all right, this one broke a maiden in a maiden special weight second time out, then goes to the grade 1 summer and loses to Carson's Run and My Boy Prince. I mean, so that class is obviously way more than these. But which, by the way, My Boy Prince running the Keeneland this weekend. See whether or not he's in my picks tomorrow in capping the card. But anyway, the form this year, I mean, started out in a stakes race right off the bat, and then it's like has dropped this horse down, and he still can't win. So I do think that you have to put the 2 as a piece, but I had the 3 on top, and then I went to the 6 horse next, Arabian Prince in here. This is one that it's like, my gosh, 9 winners at 2 and has 32 races. And I typically avoid these kinds of horses, but it's like this one is another one. And to me, it's more of an underneath play.
Totally.
And really the way that I see this is just like the public is right now. The 3 is even money. To me, it's like the 3 is a straight up single type win bet, and I could go underneath 2-6 or 6-2, but that would be the key for me. And I like these three so much over the rest of the field. I think it's a straight up trifecta key 3 with 2-6.
Okay. Like it. Like it. And if we do notice, the victory achieved came in third to Run Carson at Gulfstream Park. So was not far off. And Lamcaro. Exactly. So
and going just to tag on to what you said there, Tim, and us joking around with the chalk eater, right? Sometimes chalk is the right play. I know it's not a popular thing to say, and it's not a popular theory amongst everybody, but the only right play is the one that wins, right?
Right.
If an 8-5 horse wins and you're on it, that was the right play. If a 20-1 horse loses and you thought that there was great value, I hate when I see people say that was the right bet to make. You know, if the horse didn't win and it didn't pay, it was the wrong bet to make, in my opinion. Might get some people disagreeing with me in the comments on that, but honestly, it's the one that returns. So if you think that it's chalk in this race,
I totally agree with you. And you know, I love this game, and there are a lot of great handicappers out there, and everybody has their own way of approaching the game. And but I regularly hear from so many people, especially those that are on TV and have a microphone and an audience, and they're like, well, this horse seems much the best, but he's going to be too low, so I'm going to try to beat him. And to me, it's just like, okay, you just said he seems much the best, but you're going to wager. So, and it's like, I think a lot of handicappers love to say, I was right. I beat the chalk one time out of 20. What I would rather do, rather than cash tickets, I would rather win money.
Right.
You know, and I say that a lot. And sometimes to do that, you got to eat chalk, and you got to take the chalk when it's presented. Now, when I can find value with the chalk, like we've tried to do in a couple races so far, that's what I'm going to do. But in this race, I just think there's 3 horses and you can't avoid them. So what are you going to do? Am I going to play something just to hope I win money, knowing that these are the best horses in the race? No, I would rather win a little bit. I would rather win a little bit than lose my wager.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, Gene, this is a good way to put it. The only value is in winners. That's right.
Yep.
The only value you get is when you get the money coming back because you're cashing the ticket, right?
Absolutely.
And to me, when people say like, "Oh, I can't play the winner or I can't play the chalk in this race because I don't see the value in it, even though it's much the best," that to me, that's a little bit of lazy handicapping too, right? I mean, handicapping is all about, you're trying to look for the value, but you're also trying to rank all the horses and find the best ones and really figure out the best angle to use them at. And if you think there's another horse that has a really good chance to win, go ahead and play that horse. But if you really think a horse at 8-5 is going to win, there's really no getting around that if that's really what the cards are saying.
Totally agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would love to see one horse taking all the money and be 1-9 and be like, this horse is a dog and there's no way he wins. And this horse at 50-1 is clearly the best and going to win. I would love that. But that doesn't happen. No, it's just
definitely not at 1-9.
Yep.
4-5 on the 3 right now. So there's that.
Yeah. And there's Western World. Yeah.
so right now 3-5 is your which I find interesting. 3-5 is your lowest in the exacta probables for $2 returning 870.
3-5?
3-5.
Huh. All right.
It's weird. And when you look at the will pays in the double pool, the 3, in the pick 3, the 3, in the pick 5, the 3.
Yeah. The 5 I think is going to be the one that pushes the pace on the 2 the most.
And in all of the will pays, the 5 is 4th.
That is
3-6-2-5.
Maybe there's someone out there who dumped a bunch of money and is hoping to find value on the 5. Maybe. It could turn around, right? We've got 13 minutes to post, so.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you see this a lot. It's Sahin's on that horse and leading jockey takes money.
That's true too. Yeah.
And they're also
Yeah.
44% together.
Yes.
That helps too.
But you know, Sean, and you and I talk about this, but it's like 44% as a win percentage is great. But it also means they lose 56% of the time.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, what
Absolutely.
percentage of that is second place? That's a good question.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And there's the Heen. Jim's in his what do you call his sweatpants tonight?
Yeah, he's not dressed for a picture. He's not expecting it.
That to me, by the way, at Woodbine, knowing the circuit like you do, that is such a giveaway for me. Sometimes I can tell by what the connections. Tim knows this, but I can tell by what the connections are wearing whether that plays big into my factoring.
Yeah.
And it pays. It does. It does pay.
Line.
I'm telling you, it's one of those things. And that's what I call it. They're dressed for the picture.
Yep.
Right.
I also know 3 trainers that I know if they're going to run really well, they show up early. So,
what's up, Paul? Paul from
Lord.
across the pond.
Hey, Paul, how are you, bud?
Hey, Paul, if you weren't on here and didn't hear earlier, I know you've asked about this in some of the other lounges. We're going to run a cocktail lounge next Friday and next Saturday for the Breeders' Cup races.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who knows how many of us were going to jam into that as well, but I should be around for most of it, especially on Saturday. Definitely hoping to be. Maybe not as much on Friday, but yeah.
And what's great too for those people on the East Coast, they're 3 hours behind, so the races don't start like if it's on the East Coast. Sometimes they start at like 9:30, 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're trying to get your breakfast or whatever. They're 3 hours behind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not going to be which is great.
Which is also causing a lot of controversy about the Saturday card and about the Classic not closing out the Breeders' Cup and being early on in the card because of the time difference.
Right.
I don't know if we'll be able to show Breeders' Cup. I should say, I know we're not going to be able to show Breeders' Cup, but we will be talking through it. You can have the TV going with Breeders' Cup on one side, computer with us on the other.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Sean, reach out to your connections and just let them know.
Should I push the go live button on Sean's Twitter feed here? It looks like we have that for YouTube and for Colin, but not Sean.
Yeah, but you can push it, but it'll come back and tell you it's not premium. So.
Oh, okay. So
because I'm not.
We'll put Facebook instead.
I'm not verified. Yeah.
Okay, let me take Sean off then.
Yeah. Put Collins on,
Colin's already on there.
That one's on.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah.
Get Facebook going.
We'll do our best to have it on as well. We'll have it on our screens and do much like we do with Turfway and the Cocktail Lounge. We'll kind of call the races and butcher them for you and do our best.
Yeah.
I get a few guests along the way. Ombre should be around for that one too, so that'll be exciting having him along.
That will be exciting. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. 3. I like the 3 on top and thought the 3 was a single, but I don't like 3 to 5. But
we
again,
just talked about this.
But you got to take it. No, I didn't say I was changing. I just said I don't like it.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm joking.
One has to drink a minimum of 4 cocktails.
I do have to pick up my daughter from ballet though after all this, so I might change that minimum up. Yeah.
What I do like though is the 3.5 continues to be the lowest in the probables, and 3.2 is 1780 and 3.6 is 1590, and that's not horrible with a 1 to 2 shot on top.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Formula, you were talking about you went a little sweeter on the drinks tonight, and you know that
Yeah.
I typically have my stout over here, but
Yes.
I went a little sweeter tonight as well. So I'm
All right.
drinking bourbon barrel aged as usual, but I'm drinking a bourbon barrel aged Scottish ale, the Drunken
Oh,
Unicorn.
nice. Those are nice. Yeah. I'm with you on that. A wee heavy.
Yes.
Indeed.
This is a local brewery here in the area. They've got a beer, a Scottish ale called the Unicorn, and this one is their bourbon barrel aged, which they call the Drunken Unicorn. They put out once a year, but it's really good stuff.
It sounds like Pipeworks is a brewery near us. They have Unicorn's Blood as their red ale, and they have Zombies versus Unicorns or something like that. They've got a couple of those. Yeah.
Okay. Horses are looking good on the track. Especially Friday night.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to procure a gorilla mask or some Halloween mask of some sort because it's right after Halloween.
Yeah.
The De los Muertos, I believe it's called, the first.
Yeah.
But on the second, if we get up to 15,000 followers on YouTube, and we are currently at 14,395, so we have ways to go. Yes, I will wear a Halloween mask, preferably a gorilla mask, throughout the BC Cocktail Lounge. There you have it. So if you guys haven't subscribed, do it now.
Absolutely.
We'll have fun with that one.
See the man in the gorilla mask.
Yes, calling races.
Wow, this 3.5 is now $10. It is really just clicking down and clicking down.
Wow, getting some value there.
But you know, this 2 underneath I really like, and all of a sudden the 2 is floating up a little bit, and you know,
Yep.
I'm not one of these people that that says, oh, the horse is cold
Right.
on the tote board. I'm like, hey, this is what I liked, and he's floating up. That's just better money.
And we talked about the 6 too. 6 is not that bad.
Those are the ones I like. 3 with 2.6. I'm gonna bet a tri-key just $2, cost me 4. 3 with 2.6, and that's what I'm gonna bet.
Should we lock that in? Is it lock-in time?
No, it's Sean's race.
Oh, it's Sean's race.
Sean's the one. He's got to bring us back here. He's got to figure out what we're really doing.
Yeah,
Sean's the man.
I'm still deliberating here. Yep. Yep.
Oh
That's
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
The one's getting a nice warm up at 26-1.
Wow. All right, now I'm curious. See if I can find anything in the one. Nope. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, exactly. He's the longest shot, and I totally get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you look at class, he's about half the class of the rest of these horses.
Putting it mildly.
Putting
The
it
best thing they
mildly.
got going is the trainer's last name is Hughes.
Gail Hughes. Oh, dead pet alarm. Last name alarm.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I love that too, because I think in terms of the value of the races that horse has versus the 3, you get some tremendous value there. I mean, you see a lot of 100Ks. A lot of 100Ks.
Let us
And the
know when
5
you're ready,
too.
Sean. No rush.
Yeah, Sean, go
4
ahead.
minutes.
Sorry.
Yep. Yep. I think I'm ready with my pick here. Yep, getting my- In this race, I'm going to spend $10. I'm going to do a $2 exact to all 3.
All right.
I'm going to put the 3 in second.
All right, let me change the banner here to take off 10.
I think the 3 will be there at the end, but this is an acid test. I think the 2 will be right there with the 3 in the beginning. I think the 3 is good, but I think a horse like the 4 or the 5 or the 6 could maybe catch them if they're. Sometimes the 2 tends to drift back, and to use it. This is one of those races where you know what I'm saying you could be, but I think the 3 will be right there at the end, but someone will come and catch him at the end.
Interesting play. So someone will win, and the 3 will catch second.
Yep.
I like it. Let's see it happen.
Mike Whitten.
So
Mike Whitten counting those days down to Turfway.
Ooh, what are we at now? Ooh. Show me.
Mike, how many days are we away from Turfway?
Too many. So Churchill starts this Sunday, and then they run through 1 December, and then Turfway starts up after that.
December.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was the end of November.
Yes.
Wait till December.
It's like 1 December that I think Churchill ends.
Wow, killing me.
Yes.
Damn it, Churchill. Okay, yeah, I get it. The Churchill Downs Fall Meet's good. Yeah, you get some interesting races going on, especially with the 2-year-olds. That part's good. But Thursdays.
I'm just gonna quickly get the sound here first.
Turfway. We need that. 12-4. Thank you, Mike. Man, I was really hoping it was November. I was hoping for like an 11-27 or something like that. You know, finishing up some turkey. There's Turfway. Boom. Okay, got to wait a little bit longer.
Just a little bit. Not too
Just
bad.
a little bit. 12-4. I think I'm in Nutcracker on that day, to be honest with you. Just to peel back the curtain a little bit more. Yes, I am in Nutcracker. Along with my daughter.
But I was telling Sean right before you came on Formula that I'm going to Churchill this Sunday because it's the first day of the meet, and it's their Stars of Tomorrow day. So it's like all 2-year-old races, and you never know when your next Derby winner is racing out on the track.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
There we go.
Lungs and Jagger's Got a Gun has drawn the rail and is being brought around to that gate as they are being called in. Deshaun Gaskin with the inside post this time. Jagger's Got a Gun.
Not going to be the Sugar Plum Fairy. No.
The barn of Gail Hughes going in.
Nice try.
Next along is Western World as Jagger's Got a Gun is enticed to step forward.
Little Steven Tyler, Jagger's Got a Gun. Oh, wait. That's Jamie.
Victory achieved for Live Oak Plantation.
Victory achieved.
Gate 3. Moving forward to the line, Patrick Husbands. And now Cooler Man to gate number 4 for Kazushi Kimura. Oh, they're going to wait there, it seems, as they move up with Cause of Mayhem. So the fielder will...
All right, good luck, everyone.
Cooler Man loaded last is holding back behind the start. Arabian Prince.
We need a 1-3.
Also to come up.
That would be great.
In time, so he's about looking for a hat-trick of wins tonight. He's had 2 so far, and Cause of Mayhem is at 6-1. Arabian Prince trying the all-weather.
4's not so bad either.
The last is
Cooler Man. Closer there for Cooler Man.
1-3 would be 180, and 4-3 would be 107.
For Kazushi Kimura.
Just a reminder, we've got an all 3 $2 exacta.
So Cooler Man, the only one out.
I love it. Sean's got a lot of tools in that tool belt. This is a very interesting tool he pulled out today. Let's hope this thing pays out.
Just a step away from being secured in, and now has gone up. They're all in. And locked up. Off their race. Tossing the head, Arabian Prince, but going up for the lead, and victory achieved is zipping through in the center, and on the inside of them, Western World. Victory achieved, raced out in front at a good clip. Opens the lead to a length and a half to Western World. Cause of Mayhem.
I was expecting it to get out in front.
Got a gun. On the outside, Arabian Prince back to the tail, and Cooler Man the center. And victory achieved has stepped on the accelerator straight away and is now out length clear. Western
Come on,
World in
one.
second. A Victory Achieved is going strongly. Hasn't really been extended after breaking in the lead and is able to relax.
2309.
In third on the inside, Jagger's Got a Gun. Then Course of Mayhem, Cooler Man, and
Biggest
Arabian
closer's the
Prince will have to
6.
come from the tail end. As they go towards the 3 furlongs, it is Victory Achieved taken on for the first
Ooh.
time by Western World, who comes up within a half a length. A length and a half
interesting.
away, Arabian Prince coming into it is sweeping home on the outside to go into third. Then Jagger's
goes
Got a
six.
Gun, Cooler Man at last is
6
Course
is
of Mayhem.
feeling it.
Arabian
3
Prince
wide.
is
Come on,
continuing
Patrick
that
Dixon.
momentum, is coming after the leader. Victory Achieved
Come
turns
on,
in front,
Patrick
hasn't been
Dixon.
One's
releasing
got
the
the rail.
race yet though.
Come on, one.
Arabian Prince
Pinch
is
the
on the
rail.
outside in the center. Western World,
there.
Cooler Man is finishing on, and now Victory Achieved trying to hang on to that lead by a length and a half. Arabian Prince in second. Cooler Man on the outside,
No,
but
he's too
stepping
good.
right away from them. Victory Achieved
He's too good.
will achieve another one.
Way too
And
good.
easy as pie. Victory Achieved
The-
sails
the-
on to score
Ryan
by
Munger
4.5
gave
lengths.
him the race
Arabian
by not
Prince
going
second, Cooler
out.
Man third, and fourth
Yeah.
Jagger's Got a Gun.
The two, but by him not
15.95.
by him not going after him, totally gave him the race.
Yeah, that's true. I was expecting way more pace pressure from the 2. I mean, I was expecting the 2 to set the pace, not just give it
Yeah,
up. and was
I thought
expecting
the 2 would
5 to
take it
push.
right to the 3, and as soon as he didn't, that race was over.
Yeah.
First quarter was 22 or
Yeah.
23 flat, a half 46 and 1 3/4, 110,
3, 6,
115.95
4.
final
Oh.
time. The winner
I
is
was gonna
3,
give my
Victory
try.
Achieved over
Right.
6
Should
Arabian
let me
Prince
try.
for Cooler
2
Man.
was much the
1
disappointment.
Jagger's Got a Gun.
Yeah. I
3, 6,
I had
4,
that
1.
as my single of the day. So 3 with now I had 2 6 behind it, but I had the 3 clearly on top.
Yeah, I should
Much-
I should have used the 4 because I like the 4 to come up for a piece, as I said, but I didn't. You know, that's why I went with the all because I figured that 4 would be somewhere in the middle of the with Kazushi. I didn't think he'd win, but he could get a piece of it. But you know,
He can't win. He had KK.
yeah. Well, you
Hey,
didn't
Mike
pick him
Whitten.
this time, Tim. That's why he had a chance.
Mike Whitten clicking the win, the place, and the show there, cashing that
Good job, Mike.
easily. Rick
This
Johnson.
is
looks
going to be a very good horse up at Woodbine.
Yeah.
Rick
This-
Johnson with the 3256. So I think he cashed that one. Is that an exacta there, or is he playing a daily double, triple?
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's see. Dan 23236 exacta, cashing that one.
Nice job, Dan.
Yeah. Just scrolling through here. What other people like. T, I think, had 2-3 all. This is what we had. Did not pay, unfortunately. We'll get them next time. All right. 236 trifecta box. Almost caught that one. I mean, that's the one we were
Yeah,
talking
almost,
about.
Joe
The
T.
2.
Yeah.
2 was not playing nicely there.
No, the 2 lost the race right in the way when Ryan tried to rate him rather than
Yeah,
go after the 3, and the horse clearly didn't want any part of rating.
right.
And
He
that's I played exactly what I said I was going to play, a $2 trifecta key, 3 with the 2-6. So I needed
Yeah.
that 2 as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And the
Bummer.
2 should have been right up there with the 3, and when he didn't, he just gave it to Patrick. That was a walk in the park.
All right, guys. Time for me to check out. Good luck the rest of the way. Start
We'll
cashing
get
them.
it. We'll get him back. Yep.
I know you will. I know you will. Have a good one,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Have a
but,
good night.
Sorry, Ernest.
No, it's okay.
all right, Tim. We're gonna get this back,
Promising
my
a
friend.
3-year-old
Oh, yeah.
here. Victory Achieved, a lightly raced
I got a little
3-year-old
something in the next
with
race. We'll
back-to-back
see if it
wins in
works
4
out.
starts,
There you
both
go.
at Woodbine and is by
Hey, Sean,
Street
I'll be right
Sense,
back.
Lady of Victory.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
Live Oak Stud bred the winner in Florida, raced by Live Oak Plantation and trained
Yeah,
by
that
Bob
was-
Cassie
that
with
was an
Patrick Husbands in
interesting-
the saddle. It is a success for Victory Achieved as the race favorite.
Exacta
Official
3-6
on
pays
race 6,
$16.40,
$4.20,
which I'm
popular
shocked.
For $4.30, the popular winner.
That exact
That
is an
exacta.
amazing exacta.
$16.
And if I had done my
40
try, it would have
for
been
Cooler Man, paid
$67.10.
$8.40 to show.
Ay, ay,
Trifecta
ay.
364,
We're all
67.10. The
geniuses.
Super 364.1,
After the race.
$194.05. The double 5-3, 16.60, and the pick 3,
Oh, Kyle.
29 even.
Yeah, good.
The five numbers
Almost
are
there,
1,
friend.
6, 2, then 4, 5, or 9.
Bobby D, that
Two,
exact that
three,
paid
four,
nice,
seven
$16.40,
for
my friend.
$1,554.
That paid a lot more than I thought it
85 cents.
would.
3-6
So.
swinger, 265. 3, 4, $8.30, 4, 6, 4.70.
Yeah, so very interesting there. But Kyle, that was very, very close. Yeah, the two lost it right out of the gate there when he didn't go after the three. We knew that race was a 6 tried his best, but just absolutely no match for that very talented 3. And Victory Achieved will definitely be one to watch at Woodbine going forward. Patrick didn't even ask that horse at all. So we'll go on to 7. We got 2 races here to get it back, and we can definitely do that coming up here. There we go. Got it back there. Kyle hit the try. No, he had 3 with the 2-6, Dan. It was 3-6-4. Great job, Dan. Hey, that's awesome, Dan. Well done. Well done. Yeah, see right here, I expected the 2 and the 3 to be ding-donging up on the front, and Ryan tried to rate the 2, and the 2 clearly wanted no part of rating whatsoever. You just got to let that 2 go. Oh, 3-2. 3-2-6 all. Oh, fantastic, Kyle. Nice job, bud. Fantastic. Way to go. I did not see that one. I'm sorry. Way to go, Kyle. Nice job, bud. Great try. That was my original pick. I was going 3 over the 2, 4, 6, or all 3, and I chose the wrong one, clearly. Which we're all geniuses after the race. That's what I love when everyone says, "Oh, see, I told you." Yep. We're all geniuses after the race. Distinguisher. Thanks, Alex. But look at the way this 3 just takes off easily. Patrick not even asking him. That horse just took off on his own. Ultra impressive. Vikings Rams. Do I think it's worth staying up for? Well, interesting. You got the Vikings who are coming off a loss. You know they're going to be bitter. And Puka Nakua comes back for the Rams. I don't know to what level he will be back. I know he's playing tonight. I don't know how much they use him. But obviously he's a huge advantage to have back, one of the most talented young receivers in the league. So I think that could be an interesting game to watch for sure, Paul. I think it could be a very interesting game for sure, especially with the Cooper Kupp possibly being traded or Stafford being traded or whatever, things like that. That could be a fascinating game, a must win for the Vikings coming off that devastating loss to the Lions in the last 15, 19 seconds, if you will. So we are 20 minutes away from race 7. And we are on the inner turf, 7.5 furlongs, claiming 15,000, purse 39.9. And in this race, everybody, the full field of 9, is back in this race. So this is going to be quite the interesting race here for you. And this is Tim's race. I'll kind of wait. We have time. We have 19 minutes until the race. And thank you to everybody for joining us here in the lounge tonight. So there's Tim.
I was hearing you. I was coming back in. My dog was begging me to go outside.
Oh, there you go. Yep, you have to take care of the dog. Exactly. So we have 19 minutes here until race 7 on the inner turf. And this is a very interesting race indeed at 7.5 furlongs. And let us know who you like here. Let's see. Let's see here. Yep. So this is an interesting race here, Tim. We have another interesting race for sure here. We have the 3 for Kevin Attard. And Kevin Attarda started using Austin Adams now more and more, kind of like he was using Pietro, which is interesting. With the bug, it's definitely helping. And this horse ran at a mile on the inner turf, ran a very big race, and just lost to Bakuya, who's a very good horse in the right at this level. And so this should be an interesting horse. I don't think he's a standout, but 8-1 down to 5-2 definitely is a horse that you have to consider. Sarah's Dancer, who's the 2-1 favorite, this is a horse that's always knocking on the door, but just doesn't seem to like to win. It did on the synthetic, but it really hasn't. It's only run on the turf 4 times, but and on back form at 7.5, this horse ran a huge race with Leo Salas last year. So clearly, this horse can definitely get the job done versus group. A must use in this group. So I was 3-2, and then my third pick was a horse kind of cutting back here in distance, was the 7 Gonna Win, who ran against less in 14,000, but KK gets up for Norm, and I thought this was an interesting horse. The 4 was my 4th pick, and that's kind of the way that I'm not really inventing the wheel here, the way they're betting, and I think that's the way it's going to go, but that's my top 4.
All right.
And let us know who you guys like out there.
I'm not surprised, Sean, but I looked at the morning line, and when I handicapped this race, and I'm like, why is this 3-8-1? It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yep.
And now we look, and the 3 is your 3-1 favorite. That makes sense to me.
Yep.
Because the 3 is also the one that I really like on top here, and I think that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yep.
The morning line had the 2 as the favorite, who is now sitting at 9-2 as a second choice. I totally agree with you there. I like that as well. This one's been off since July. It is working really well. And here's the thing about the works that I really like. And we talk about works all the time. A lot of people minimize the importance of works, and it just depends. And one of the things about the works here is, if you look back on the 22nd of September, this horse ran a 47 4 furlong workout, 3rd best of 114 who ran that distance that morning, and then missed a workout. And that would normally have me caution a little bit as to whether or not maybe that work was too fast, maybe something happened. But the horse comes back and fires a nice 47-3. And then on top of that, they come right back the next week. So right back at it. And then they do a maintenance work. Nice, easy 51-1. So it's like you get those 2 really fast works, even though there was a miss in between. And then you've got a nice workout to where this horse, they just bring them back out for a maintenance work. I think that this horse is probably ready to fire. 7.5 on the inner turf, probably ready to go. I think that the 2 is a definite play underneath. After that, I think after these 2 horses, Sean, it was just like I went back and forth between 1, 4, 5, 7. It's just like I just kept looking, and like everybody, I think after that, I think it's those 2 horses and everybody else.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So it's going to be. I think it's a little cloudier behind that, and we might get a little bit of a price behind it. So we'll see what we do here in a minute.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Interesting that Nick Nazawenko on the 1, he's had a very interesting year. He owns this horse. He's dropping the 1 way down. He dropped it to 14 100 off where it was, and it definitely found its friends. But it's interesting. He's only run on the outer turf except for the one race where he was on the inner turf, and he just didn't seem to like it.
Worst race on the entire PP.
Yep, exactly. So
and you know, the other thing about that, Sean, is so the horse comes out of the maiden ranks, basically takes 11 races to break her maiden. Then she steps up against winners and her non-winners of 2, wins right back as the favorite.
Yep.
But then goes against non-winners of 3, and that's just like a huge jump up in a couple of races.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. No, I agree. I agree. Bobby D's got 3-9 with 8-7 with win on the 7. One thing we can say, Kevin Attard's in a sweatshirt. I have seen him win many, many, many races on a Thursday, Friday with a sweatshirt on. If it's a Saturday, any stats or combo of stats that will help you decide on how to bet a race. There's so many, Mike. There really are. There's so many factors.
Exactly. I will tell you one basic rule that I kind of have, Mike, and there are exceptions to every rule. But when I'm looking at whether I'm playing, you know, I like verticals. So whether I'm playing an exacta or try, if it's like 7 or fewer runners, I'm probably playing an exacta. It has to be more runners in there before I'm playing a try, because otherwise it's not paying. Now, the exception might be 7 or less to where lukewarm favorites, everything is odds. It looks like even the exacta is paying really well, like some of the races we've seen tonight. Then I might lay down a try, because if the exactas are paying and spread out, then so are the tries. Yeah. But typically I need a race like this one to where I've got 9 horses before I'm considering a trifecta.
Yeah. Bobby D's got 3-9 with 8-7 winning the 7. Yeah. I'm personally, I would just bet 2-3 here and try to but the 4, the 1, the 7 all get in play. Making Woodbine that much harder.
What's our bankroll here?
Our bankroll right now is $66.
All right.
But you can bring us all back in one swoop.
You know, we got one more race, Sean.
Yep.
And there's no reason to be conservative here. No reason to be conservative.
Nope. Get us home a winner.
Let's take a look at them. See what.
Yep. Always. Yep. Mike, this is a very important thing for you, Mike. Tim and I, this is one of our staples when in our handicapping is always look and see how the horses are doing. You could read a PP until you're blind, but if the horse doesn't look good on the track, he's not going to, or he or she, they're not going to run the same race that you think. You know, if they're a little bit on the wild side or just not looking quite sharp, that can definitely affect. Many times I have been talked off a horse, and usually about 70% of the time it's right if they're not looking sharp. Jeff has the 4.
Wow, that's a little surprising to me.
Elisa has the 5. Been trying for the turf for a while. Doug has the 4. Ron has the 3. We're all over the board.
They are.
Interesting. This is the first time on the turf for the 5. In ably 20% together. Leo C, how are you, my friend? Exacta 3, 4, 7 with 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Eight minutes to post here. This is an interesting race here. Thank you, Leo. So appreciate it, my friend.
Absolutely. We're here every Thursday, Leo. And if you didn't hear earlier, we're actually going to run a cocktail lounge next Friday and next Saturday for all of the big Breeders' Cup races. We won't be on for every race, but we are going to be on for all the big Breeders' Cup ones. So when you look at it on both days, there's basically like a point on the schedule to where all of the races start. We'll be on after that for each of the days. Come join us, talk horses.
Yep,
You know, Sean,
absolutely.
I keep going back. I keep seeing a horse here on the track that I absolutely love. And I keep going back to the PPs, and I don't see anything in the PPs that make me like this horse any more than I did before. But I think the horse looks amazing. And what scares me is that this is a race at 7.5 furlongs, and this horse has really been has run 4 times at the distance and does have a first place at that. But really, the last races have been 2-turn routes.
Yeah.
So, and that's the 8. This 8 looks amazing on the track. But I'm not sure I can bet that horse over. The 3 to me, who is the horse I like the most on top. You look at that 3 on the track, and I think she looks incredible. So, Sean, I think we're headed to the gate here. We still got 6 minutes, but
We do, yeah.
Here we go. We got one race left. We're down a little bit in the lounge, but Sean and I think both like this 2-3, and I think the 2-3 is going to be in the exacta. Both of those horses are going to be on top. But if we know those are on top, let's hit the try. We're going to go a 2-3 with a 2-3 with all for $2. That'll cost you $28.
Love it.
And we're going to hit the try and bring us all the way back and then some.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Because right now, if you're looking at the exacta probables, the 2-1 is paying the lowest of all. Get this, folks. 2-1, $2 get you 36. $36 on a 2. That's the lowest exacta in the pool.
Yep. That's why Woodbine is so amazing.
Yes, and the 2-3 right now is paying 39, and the 3-2 is paying 42. So they're both very similar. But if they're paying 39 and 42, we're getting a couple hundred at least for our try here.
Yeah. And what's the low right now? It's the 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I debated here, and for everybody out there, if you've got the bankroll and maybe you're thinking it, maybe you play a $1 2-3 all, and then you play another $1 2-3 with all with 2-3.
Yep.
And you get a horse that actually splits our 2 and our 3.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's a possibility.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting because the 3 was a favorite and now it's a 2. But
I know,
I still like where we're at.
Yep.
Because I love the way the 3 looks on the track, and at 9-2, it's almost like you want to play win place.
Yep. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to play straight bets out there, folks.
Nope.
A
Nope.
lot,
If
a
you-
lot of times we win money by having a couple races where we just play some flats.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Look at that 8, Sean. That's a horse I was talking about. I think she
Yeah.
looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Munger. Yeah.
Watch this 8 split our 2 and 3, and then I'll kick myself for not having it because I think she looks amazing.
3 minutes to post. Alex has got a 2 with the 148 exact the key box. Sean says the will pays for the pick 4, 30 to 48 for me, 237. Okay, nice job, Sean. Bring it home. Dan Witchin says if Tim loves the 3, it's a $10 win on the 3. There you go. All the horses looking good here.
There's that 3 looking sharp.
Yeah, looking very sharp. Yep. Look at Mike's got a $21.75 bankroll. Love it. There you go. Good luck, T. James White, daily double 7 all. Look at James. James is going for the okay. He's on the Kazushi bandwagon. I'm going to take this off just a second here so we can get the picture up here.
Absolutely. Joe, I like that bet too. 2-3 exacta box, which is pretty much what we're playing because if you win, we win. You hit the exacta, we hit the try.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, yep. There we go, my friends. Now we'll just get the sound here for our friend Robert Geller. And they should be on the track soon. Joe T, 2-3 exacta box at 10. Love it. Joe T, we like your exacta.
Absolutely. We hope you win.
Yeah. We're with you, my friend.
We are right there. You win, we win. We'll take it.
Saddle adjustment to Violenta behind the start, and at this stage, little change to the betting. The others are coming across to join, and they'll be called up very shortly.
And never worry about a saddle adjustment. That's probably just that that can happen.
Absolutely. And Rick, your bet scares me because that's what I think that we might have should have done is split the 2 and the 3 with everybody in between. But
the inside belongs to Good News Money is down.
We'll
in
see
the
what
betting
happens.
Out to 4
and
to 1.
there's that 8 again, Sean, looking good.
Sarah's dance has tightened up to 5 to 2. So the earlier 6 to 1 price has certainly evaporated. Going up is Good News Money. But here's one Flourish the Rail. And David Moran on Sarah's Dancer.
I like the 1 here. I just couldn't get past that maiden to non-winners of 2 to non-winners of 3. I just think it's that's a tough 3 race cycle.
Dick Bush has got 5 with 3-4 and 5 with 4-3.
Look at that 3.
Choose to be happy the ride.
Man,
Austin Adams.
Looking fantastic. Yep.
Come on, girl. Choose to be happy. Sean, I choose to be happy as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, 5, Daddy's Daisy, another of the grays in this lineup.
Daddy's
and Daddy's Daisy.
Yeah, we got a lot of grays in here.
Starting gate at
Daisy's
9 to 1 odds. Fraser Abley and Mike Dunslow. And Rookie Court. Daisuke Fukumoto now. George coming in well.
Daisy. A doozy.
Gonna Win is led up.
Yeah, Mike, I agree with you. That 3 looks like $1 million on the track.
Yep, looking darn good. Yep.
Violento.
But right now, the odds still hold. The 2
And
is at
the
5 to 2, and our
outside
3 is sitting at
chestnut
9 to
mare.
2,
I
and
Have
the
an
1
Idea.
is snuck in between them at 7
Yeah,
to
and
2.
Dan's got the 2-3 with the
Leads the line there
2-3-7-8.
in the gate.
Good luck, everyone. Here we go.
Off they race, a good start. And going for the early lead is near the inside. Choose to Be Happy, but sprinting through is Rookie Court to head them. And out wide, Violento and I Have an Idea are going up fast. Showing early speed is also Gonna Win. So there's plenty of pace being shown as they go out the
Plenty of
stretch.
pace.
Choose to Be Happy settles 5th on the inside. And behind them, Daddy's Daisy, PS Rising Star.
Whoa.
Back to second last, Sarah's Dancer. And the early trailer is Good News Money. And going out clearly in front, I Have an Idea, hikes along by a length and 3/4.
don't
In
like
second,
where the
Rookie
2 is at.
Court. And third, Violento. Choose to Be Happy,
This
moving
is
up
a
on the
fast
inside.
pace for the
Like him, 2.5 to
Runs
Gonna
from the
Win.
back, but I don't
Couple
like
away
that
came
inside
PS
last.
Rising Star,
Yeah.
shading Daddy's Daisy, Good News
I'd
Money,
rather
rolling
be
into it.
outside.
And last is Sarah's Dancer.
I like where the
About
3
7
is.
lengths covers the
Yeah.
field and opening up the lead even
He
further. I
got
Have
bet
an
down
Idea.
tonight to 2
Racing
to
to
1.
a 4-length advantage over Rookie Court. Violento, Choose to Be Happy, Gonna Win. Setting sail is running on well and taking off his
47 on
PS
the inner
Rising
track.
Star.
That's
Then
a
Daddy's
fast
Daisy, Good
pace.
News Money still back.
Yeah.
Second last
That
after
horse
trying
is
to get
already
going.
backing
And
up.
last of all, Sarah's Dancer. I Have an Idea
Sean,
has
look at
given them
this
something
8 I
to
said I
chase here.
love.
At least 3 lengths. Closing ground
Come
on
on,
both
1 and
Rookie Court
2.
and Violento. A length to Gonna Win. Choose to Be Happy. Bailed up at the moment. And down the outside, PS Rising
Come on,
Star.
1 and 2
Daddy's
from the
Daisy
back.
with plenty of room up the rail.
3's much
Up
the
the
best.
inside comes
Yeah.
Choose to Be Happy.
Come on, 2.
After I Have an Idea, and
Come on,
Rookie
2.
Court is next. And down the
Come on,
outside,
2.
PS Rising Star. But Choose
Come
to
on,
Be
2 up
Happy
that rail.
threads the needle to go clear
Come
and
on,
is
2 up
racing
that
away from
rail.
the opposition.
Come on,
And
2 up
Austin
that
Abbott
rail.
sneaks away with
Come
a
on,
big
2
win.
up that rail.
Choose to Be Happy by about 3.5
Only
to
winners,
6.
Sean.
Winners in
Came
the
up the
long.
same
Only
pathway to
winners.
get second from Rookie Court, PS Rising
Beautiful.
Star. And weakening was I Have an
Beautiful.
Idea.
Who came
Hey,
in?
Sean.
Who came in third?
Sean, look at the board. We got the 6, 45 to 1.
Yes. Only winners in the lounge, my friends. Only
Boom,
winners in
babies.
the lounge.
3 much the best. Went off at 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Everybody was a winner. Gotta love it. Love to see it.
3, 2, 6, 4.
Love to see it. Love to see it. See it.
And the opening quarter was
That's how
23
we
and
do it.
3, a half a mile.
Hello.
47 and 3 and 3/4, 112.
Go
and
big or go home.
7/8,
There you go.
124. With a final time of 1:30.10, 3:2.64. Unofficial. The winner is 3, Choose to Be Happy over 2, Sarah's Dancer, 6, Rookie Court, and 4, PS Rising Star. And at the jump, Choose
Yeah,
to Be
3,
Happy
2, 6.
ended up
45
as
to 1,
the race
people. We
favorite.
pulled it.
We pulled it. Yep.
Here it is. Here's why we won.
Look at this move by the 2 up the rail. What a great job by David Moran.
And the 6 had a good race as well, and that 4 was
Yeah.
closing on the outside. But
Looking like his son there.
love it. But that 3 was much the best.
Much the best.
Much the
Yep.
best.
And he got bet down from 9 to 2, and you know. Mike Witten's a winner. Who else we got a winner here? Let's see here.
Joe did the try at $3.
Yeah, Rick Johnson had a 237 box. Joe T was close. Oh,
I think he got it because he had this. He said, I did your
Yeah.
pick, even the try at $3. So
yep. Dan
So
H,
he's-
I think Dan H won, right? 2-3 with 2-3-7-8. Yeah, nice job, buddy. Love it. Love it, Dan.
and then who was it that we were talking about that had the $10 exacta with our 2-3?
Yeah, exactly. Someone had Joe T. Big hit.
There we go. This is how we do it, fellas.
Now, Joe T, who was your try? Because he said that I did your pick, even I don't think he had the 6.
Hey, Sean, listen
Yeah.
to this. Listen to this. The 3-2 exacta pays $40.
Wow. Okay.
The 3-2 exacta pays $40. So for our trifecta, especially with a 45 to 1,
Yep.
I'm thinking 3 and change.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
And the
And
winner
both of
is
us played it.
Choose to
Both
Be
of us
Happy
played
has
it.
now
Yep.
got a third
Which is
victory
awesome.
on the board.
Yep. Because that was the only thing the both of us liked was 3-2. $40 exacta. This is unbelievable with these two.
That's amazing for those two. That to me, they were
Also
the
3
top two
wins
by
tonight
far.
for the
Yep. But
barn, Kevin and Tard, and a very nice winning ride. Austin Adams coming up.
Only
the
winners
rail
in the
with some
lounge,
great
folks.
success
And as I
on
said,
33.65.
you guys see
So,
Kevin Attard in his
Solly Maker and
sweatshirt
partner
there,
winning
this
owners,
jacket there.
Choose to Be Happy.
Many,
Joe,
many
for
races
$2,
he has
Joe.
won with that jacket on.
Williams map. From
Joe, for $2. I'm sorry, that's
Yes,
a $2
it's true
payout.
there.
$40
Is
per
what,
win.
40?
and it is H&E
So
Ranch.
basically
Winner.
$20.20 per dollar.
Choose to Be Happy was
Wow,
bet down
that's
to be
great.
2-1 race favorite.
So we'll be cashing there. I like that.
Yep. We got a couple of horses off. I'm going to go. You ready for this? I'm going to go 400.
It might be. It might
Let's
be
see.
with,
I'm
with
gonna go
45 to 1.
400.
That was the longest shot on the board.
Yeah, the one was really getting played down. Nick's horse was really getting played down.
That's why the 3-2 exacta was so good, because the 3-1 was the lowest one. Here we go.
456 for a buck.
Holy shit. $900. $900, folks.
Number 2, Sarah's Dance at $520 to place. And
We're ready for the Breeders' Cup, my man.
13.60 show. 3-2 exacta, 40-40. And the try, $456.05. Super.
Tim and I are ready for the Breeders' Cup.
$912.10. Oh, wait.
Double
The
24
wager
even.
did cost us $28.
Three,
So
either
we'll
You did,
5 or
right,
9, then
exactly.
we won
31.55,
$884.10.
the 3 or 7 with 3.
Hello.
154.50.
Hello. Only winners in the
Swing at
lounge.
2-3, 555, 3-6, 26.55, 2-6, 33.
That puts our bankroll, Sean. You ready?
Yep.
Let's throw it on the bottom of the screen. Just everybody take a peep at this. $950.10.
Wow. Pressure in the last race.
Boom.
Boom.
Build that bankroll. Joe T, look at this. Look at Joe.
Look at Joe T. Yeah.
Off they race. A good start.
Way to go, Joe.
The early lead is near the inside. Choose to Be Happy, but sprinting through his rookie court to head them. And out wide, Violento and I Have an Idea are going up fast.
Only winners
Showing
in the
early speed
lounge,
is
my
also
friends.
gonna win. So there's plenty of
All
pace
right.
being shown as they go out the stretch.
Someone was asking early on if we're any good. What do you think now? Are we any good?
Yes, Rising Star. Back to second last.
Great
Sarah's
job,
Dancer,
Rick.
And the
Rick
early
Johnson
prize
had
is
to
Good
try.
News Money.
Look
Dick
at
is
Joe
challenging
T.
us to go double or nothing on the next bet, Sean.
Length and 3/4 in second, and third, Violento.
One thing you learn, folks, when you hit like that,
We're
right?
going home winners.
Yeah, we're going home winners, but you don't go crazy. You just have some fun in the last race and just take it, put it in the bank, get ready for Breeders' Cup, do whatever you know.
And here's the nice thing. I mean, Sean can make a nice $50 wager, and we can go home 800 up.
Yep.
Then Daddy's Daisy, Good News Money, still back second last after trying to get going. And last of all, Sarah's Dancer. I Have an Idea has given them something to chase here.
Love it.
3 lengths. Closing ground are both Rookie Court and Violento. A length to gonna win. Choose to Be Happy. Bailed up at the moment. And down the outside here's Rising Star. Daddy's Daisy with plenty of room up the rail. Up the inside comes Choose to Be Happy. After I Have an Idea.
Look at this ride by the two. Look at the two right now. Fifth.
Here's Rising Star, but Choose to Be Happy.
Yeah.
Fourth.
The needle to go clear and is
What a ride by David
and Austin
Moran.
Adams sneaks away with a big win.
And
Choose to Be
second.
Happy by about 3.5 to Sarah's Dancer, who came up the same pathway to get second from
45
Rookie
to
Court,
1.
PS Rising Star. And weakening was I Have an Idea.
Hey, Joe, let me say this. We have fun in the lounge. We enjoy it. We love when we win. But there is nothing that Sean and I and everybody else that's in the lounge love more than when we see people in here in the chat winning big, winning big, and talking about
it
winning
makes
big.
it 10 times better. 10 times better.
I'd rather see you guys take what we do and we lose the bet, and you take what we did and you make a smarter bet and you win.
Yep, absolutely.
Now it's fun when we all get it,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
but we love it. We absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
And you know, Rick, that is exactly why I played it, because in a field like this, and we just talked about this a minute ago, when you've got an even field like this and you like a couple of horses, it's like sometimes it does pay off. The all button is not stupid. Look, I know when people talk about a lot of the horizontal wagers, a lot of times it's like the all button and like buying a race, and maybe it's just like wasting money. But sometimes in exotics like this, when you're going vertical wagers, it's different.
Right.
The all makes sense, because if you remember back to what I told Sean when I gave him my horses, I said I love the 3 on top and I love the 2, and I told him, I said, after that it gets muddy for me. I said I can't separate them.
Yep.
And I said that right off the bat, and it's just like, so we were like 3-2, and honestly, we put the 2-3 with the 2-3. If you'd have made me single a horse, I would have went 3-2 all. And it's like for half as much money, and we'd have still won the same amount. But it's just like, or you could have doubled it. But that's literally what I thought. But we backed it up the other way just in case.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. So, yep, let me bring this right back up here for us. Sorry, my friends. Let me get back to Woodbine here. There we go. Bring it right back up on the screen here for us. All right. There we go. Boom. There we go. 16 minutes to go in the 8th race. No pressure whatsoever. It's a great feeling. Now, they may have taken the tax out for you, Joe. Yeah. Yeah. They may have taken the tax. Some betting sites take the tax out like right away. That is a common, but that's not a bad problem to have, Joe.
No, you get your W2G at the end of the year, and especially if you're using an ADW, all you got to do is every bit that they took out and all your winnings, you take all your winnings and you claim just as much as losses, and you're going to get it all back.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. No doubt.
Take all your losing tickets in addition to your winning tickets, and you tell them, okay, you gave me this on wins, but really I didn't win. So you get it all back.
Leo, I've never been a big high five. Now we did it. We hit one night at
Assiniboia.
Assiniboia. But generally speaking, I avoid that bet like 90% of the time.
Yeah. And Leo, I'll tell you, the one that Sean is talking about, we did it at Assiniboia, and we kind of do it for fun, and we do it ice cold, and it's just like we've done it multiple times, and it's just like, okay, what's our ice cold high five? And we will like literally play a $1 bet, all 5 horses in order, only one way. And one night, Sean and I were on with Colin.
Yeah.
Colin and I were on. We nailed it. Sean came on. He gave the same horses I gave.
Same horses, yep.
It came in. It came in the exact order, and we hit that pretty big, and it was just a lot of fun. I think it was it was far from the biggest wager I've ever won, but it might have been the most fun.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So this is an interesting race here for sure. And let us know who you like here in the last race. No tax for Paul here in Ireland on betting, and no tax up there in Canada either. No tax. So in Canada, you get the full thing. They have no tax up there on wagering. Anytime, Leo. Glad to help. And thank you to everybody who's joined in tonight. Now, Tim, who was your top 3 here in race 8?
Yeah, I mean, this is another one. It's like with a lot of the races, and even in the last one, here's the funny thing. I saw that race as being very chalky, and the three was not the favorite in the morning line, but I figured that 3 was going to get bet down, and we talked about that even as we looked at the race. but we saw 3-2 over everybody else, and we won $900 on what we considered chalky play. So here we are again, and I have a similar opinion. In this race, I went towards the outside. I think the 10 in this race, that another pinky for Martin Hinkson, getting Bino up on this one. This is a horse that is been coming off of a layoff, but the one thing about layoffs is I don't worry as much about layoffs when it's a sprint. Okay, because you can come off a layoff and you don't necessarily have to be in shape as much as be sharp. There's a difference. Okay, so obviously the horses probably aren't in great racing shape, but they might be sharp enough to sprint that distance. And when I look at this horse and look at where this horse has run in this condition, you know, this is a maiden 7,500 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Okay, but this horse has run against much better. So we're dropping down to that level from a maiden optional claimer 40,000. So this horse has been running against much better, and has been right there and has been in the money in all 3 races, has 2 seconds and a third. And I just think that the works show that the horse is probably going to be sharp. There's nothing that jumps off the page, but I don't expect that necessarily. But there's a consistent pattern of works. They're solid. There's nothing there. And I think that you have to consider the 10 on the drop here. And I think the public with the 5-2 betting here kind of agrees with that. The 4 is the second favorite in the betting here, but I had the 4 actually third, and another horse that I kind of like in here that I thought I would get a bit of a price on, but right now is actually the third choice behind that 4 that I like third. That's the 8 horse. The 8 is currently sitting at 1, but this is another one. The horse only has 1 race. That was a 5.5 furlong sprint. And gets the bug boy right back, Sean. This horse came from 10th place and ended up finishing 3rd in similar conditions against similar horses. This is one who's probably going to be flying late and probably good enough to get a piece, I think, second. And I did have that 4 in 3rd. So I'm going to be 10, 8, and 4 in here is what I liked.
Yep. And to no shock at all, Tim, my top 3 horses are the 10, the 8, and the 4.
Not shocked.
Which is not shocking. So, you know what we're going to do? Hit that button. We're 10 minutes to go.
Boom.
We're just going to do a $5 exacta box for 810 and call it a night. Call it a night. That's all we're doing. Yep. And even if we lose, we're still over 900 and we're doing just fine.
And that's a $30 wager for those of you at home who are wondering if your budget's a little smaller. Don't do it for 5. Do it for 2. Do it for $1.
Do it for 2. Do it for 1. Do whatever. Exactly.
Do it whatever fits. Or if you got another horse, consider our horses with your horses. Don't ever let us change your mind. Just
never. Like. If you like a horse, go with it.
We always say that everything that we say is just another data point for you to use to make your decisions in your ways.
Right.
It's not telling you how to bet.
Yep.
But I'm going to do this, Sean. Let's see really quickly. So I've already updated on the bottom. So we're sitting at 920 right now, and we still plan to cash this exacta coming up here for $5.
Yep.
Even without that, we're sitting at 920 off $100 starting bankroll.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Like
so,
now.
Yeah, Paul, nice. Okay, you got the 10, 9-2. Very nice, Paul.
Yeah, that's a hell of a price, Paul.
That's great, Paul.
I would bet that that horse straight myself if I could get 9-2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you to everybody for joining tonight. I didn't even check to see if they hit their pick. You know, that was a bold single. That too. That was a great single. You know. Oh, thank you, Joe. So appreciate it, my friend. Coming down the hill for the last time tonight. We still like to see like how the horses are doing. You know, because sometimes we'll have a bet and we're like, well, that one looks good, that one looks good, but that one, eh. You know what I'm saying? if you, whoa, well,
Yeah, that 2 did not want anything to do with the pony.
no, no,
See, that's a thing right there. If I had the 2 right there, I'd be a little worried.
yep, yep. Thank you, Dick, always for tuning in, my friend. We love having you.
Appreciate it.
Coming down the hill.
You know, Sean, I'm a little disappointed. Here we are. We've only lost like 1 week in the last, I don't know how many.
Yep.
We've had about 1,000 people on many weeks. This week we're sitting here with only 80 people watching us right now. And,
I know.
And we've like 8 times our bankroll.
I know. I know.
Missing out. People missing out.
Listen,
But
look at Mikey Witten, 35.95.
we're thankful for the 78 people that are here and that are watching, and people like Joe T that just cashed a big ticket. We love it.
Yep. Yep. Everybody who's won tonight, we love having you there. Yep.
You know, and here's something I'm gonna highlight this, and Michael appreciate this because Mike's a guy, he comes in every week, and this is something I think a lot of you horse players can appreciate. It's like not all of us have a bankroll to where we're even going to start out with $100. Mike comes in here and he typically says, I'm going to play $20 every day I play, and that's it.
Yep.
And that's what he's going to play. And right now, earlier, if you remember, I think he put up that his bankroll at the time was 21. Now he's up to 35. So it's just like, you don't have to be winning $900. If your bankroll is smaller and you're winning money is winning money.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. 5 minutes to go here.
Joe said he's at work and he's not doing his job. All right, Joe, hopefully that big hit you had will take care of you for a bit until you find your next job after you get fired. No,
Yes.
Tell your boss to relax and just go put on the channel, and we'll help him out too, or her.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, absolutely.
Sean, I think this 10 at 3-1 is value.
I think so too.
I mean, I love our bet. I don't want to say change it.
Yeah,
I just think this 10 is value at that price. It's like,
yeah.
I really like
Alex has got the 8 with the 4, 7, 10 exact the key box. Very
all right,
solid.
so he just added the 7 with what we like. I'm okay with that.
Very solid. Yeah, very solid.
Here's the thing right now, Sean. In the exacta probables for a $2 wager, the lowest in the entire pool is a 10-4. 10-4, good buddy. $30.20.
Can't beat that. Yep.
So again, we've got a 12-horse race here with the money being spread. We got lukewarm favorites, and there is money to be had here.
Yep, absolutely.
And you know, Paul, Paul makes a great point. I'm gonna bring this up too. He's like, he just comes here to enjoy the chat some weeks, and sometimes he doesn't bet.
That's fine, Paul. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I do the same thing. Sometimes I don't play all the bets. And when I'm at the track, I don't play every race. And it's like, if there's something I don't like, I don't play it.
Yeah.
But luckily I played that last one.
Yeah, so did I think. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Always great to have Paul. He's got the best last name anybody in here.
You just have to watch out on the channel if you're new here. You have to watch out when Alex and I agree. We're totally
serious. That's a major warning flag.
I actually lately when Alex and I agree, we've been doing pretty well. So
yeah, no, you haven't. Absolutely.
But yeah, put it on your calendars right now, guys. Next Friday and Saturday for Breeders' Cup. Come join us in the lounge. Chill the beer, get it ready, have a drink, pour the bourbon.
Quickly just get that sound ready for us one more time.
Absolutely. Interesting that the 10 and the 4 are both sitting at 7-2 right now. The 4 looks good on the track. The 10 has slight favoritism. The odds are the same, but the 10 is taking just a little bit more money. But we'll take that. We'll take a 10-4-4-2 either way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And just as a reminder, right there, we have a $5 exacta box 4810.
Yeah. We're getting out of here winners. So it doesn't matter what happens here. There you go. Taking a 5-minute rest. Love it, Joe. Dick Bush has got exacta try box 492. The Woodbine. Good luck, Dick.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with Alex either. The layup on the 10 is something, but it's just like I was saying before. If this is a longer race, I'm concerned. At a sprint, coming up a layup into a sprint, especially something as short as like a 5.5, I'm much less concerned about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it's more about sharpness than fitness.
And the 8 is owned by Bruno, and the 10 is owned by Bruno. So.
Now the starting gate.
Like Bruno just likes winning races. That's his biggest thing.
Down to the
He's like a used car salesman.
Risen to the top of the betting, but come down in price now 2-3 to 1. Now 7-2. Another pinky, number 10.
Yeah. Now the also 4 is actually taking over favoritism.
Absolutely stunning. 5-1. 6
Joe, we do not. We concentrate on the tracks.
There, I'll watch sometimes Joe T, but I don't really know those Australian tracks. I do watch it, but not enough to know it well. And during the night, usually I'm busy. I'm kind of doing. I always do double duty on Thursdays because I have picks for Woodbine Mohawk, but also with Woodbine running, so it's kind of a double thing for me.
I always say, and we've said it in here before, it's like play what you know. There is an advantage to understanding the track, how it plays, the trainers, the jockeys, everything, and something about a particular circuit. Play what you know and don't try to just play everything out there.
Distance down the track, so that horse may come up later. In fact, will. Summer Holiday starts them off into gate 2. Mrs. Benjamin to gate 3. And
Three's a little worked up.
Right here for Jason Hoyt is being asked to come and join the line. Mrs. Benjamin. Now it is the turn of Scored.
Rick Johnson's got 10 for all.
Being asked
10
to
with
step
the
into
2,
gate
7,
4.
8, 9, 12
Trust
with
my
4.
daddy issues, gate
And
5.
4, 8 with 1, 4, 8 with 10. Go.
Moving along is Lady with Attitude. Has drawn the middle of the pack. Flattering look. Getting the right here is Daisuke Fukumoto in this final race. Do note that change of rider. And absolutely stunning, Austin Adams looking to get a double here today. He is on board. Absolutely stunning. Miss Waterloo with blinkers off. Has gate 9.
As Mike Whitten says, hit the like button, my friends, if you
A
hadn't.
long
We
way
so
down the track.
appreciate
Some of
it.
the others. Another Pinky is another for the Bruno Shikadans ownership. Magnetize is starting to arrive.
We have a new word, moored.
They are trotting forward with another Pinky, who
There's
has
a new
actually
word
come
here,
down to be the
moored.
clear favorite. 5-2 in the betting for Deshaun Bino. Another
That's
Pinky
Rhode
will
Island
step to
talk.
gate 10.
James got win on the
Magnetize, about to
9,
link up.
exact and 9 all.
Gate number 11. Blinkers are on for
Good luck,
Magnetize
James.
and for On Paradise Hill. Magnetize 25-1 in the betting.
Easy,
On
lads.
Paradise Hill to the outside for Edouard Flores. The rail
All
belongs to
good,
Firebolt.
Alex. All good.
Little between
Here we
Scored,
go.
absolutely stunning. And another Pinky for top spot in the betting at the jump. Firebolt has gone to
So
the
the
line.
10 is
Stand by for a
taking
start.
over the
They're all in.
favoritism again.
Locked up.
But we've got 10, 8, and 4.
Yep.
However they want to come in the first two positions.
Starter holds them for a moment. Off their race, got them out well. A good start on the outside
start by the
on
12.
Paradise Hill and coming
4
through
in the middle
fast
as
is
well.
Scored
Good
near the
start.
inside with Lady with Attitude
Yep,
to be in
there's the
front of
4
Miss
going
Waterloo
right
and
there.
Fireball driving up the inside just off the leaders.
Mhm.
Handy is on the outside, another Pinky and caught wide on Paradise Hill is now mid-pack. Mrs. Benjamin's in the center. Meantime, Magnetize has rushed up towards these leaders. Getting back is Summer Holiday.
look at
and
that
towards
10.
the
10 wants
third
to
last
go.
position now is
Yeah, 10
Flattering
wants
Look.
to go. Now
And then
can we get the
absolutely
8 ticket
stunning.
to
And
join
last,
him?
Trust My Daddy Issues. Out in front, Scored in the lead from Magnetize. A length and a half to Lady with Attitude on Paradise Hill going forward.
Keep this
Firebolt the
4 going
inside,
now.
then Miss Waterloo. Running on is another Pinky. On the inside, Mrs. Benjamin from Summer
I'm
Holiday
gonna
and
keep this
Flattering
4
Look.
going now.
Trust My
10's
Daddy
looking
Issues
wide.
Scored. And
We need to get
Magnetize
one of our
shares
others
lead down
up.
the stretch. Scored
Come on with
drives
that
out a
10.
length to Magnetize. And
Where's the
on
10?
Paradise Hill is coming up the inside. Miss Waterloo down the outer is Scored. Races
Where's the
out 3 in
10? Here
front.
comes the 8
Miss
trying
Waterloo
to
finishing
motor
on,
through the
but
middle.
Scored is well out in front and is going to
Neither
score
one of
and
them are
has
going to get there.
demolished them in the
No,
last race.
no, he
Ryan
won't
Munger
get
and
there.
Scored by 3.5 to Miss
4-9.
Waterloo.
4-9.
Mrs. Benjamin,
That's all
Summer
right.
Holiday fourth. Trust My Daddy Issues got into run
That's
fifth.
all right.
And the time is
Who's the 9?
1:5:58.
Who's the 9? Oh, someone had the 9. Oh, James had. Well, James had the 9 to win and the 9 all. But James, is that like a back?
Here you go, right here. Exacta
4?
and try box 492.
Oh, good job, bud.
Quarter in 20.
So he's going to get the exacta, but not the try. And he just missed the try because the 2 was 4.
Flat,
Oh,
5/8
Dick,
the
great
time,
job, though. Great hit.
1:5:58. 4 is first Scored. Second is 9, Miss
Who's
Waterloo.
the 9 there?
Third is 3, Mrs. Benjamin. And then number 2, Summer Holiday, fourth. And fifth, number 5, Trust My Daddy Issues.
Sure,
So the numbers
Ryan
are 4,
Munga.
9, 3, 2, 5
Here you go.
on
The 9 was
final
Miss
race.
Waterloo.
So Bobby D's got the exacta 10-4 with the 982. So he's got that 4-9.
Great job. Wow, look at that. Nice job, guys. Way to finish.
Here you go. Leo's got the try. He's got 489.
Oh, great job, Leo.
So Leo's going to have the try 493.
Yeah, that was close. Yeah, we just couldn't get that 8's got to learn how to get out of the gate.
Yeah, exactly.
You did great though, Leo. Nice job. And with two bombs right in the back, you're still going to pay nice.
Yeah, 10 and 36 to 1. Yeah, this is going to
Especially
pay.
with the 8 and the 10 and the 2 Bruno horses out. You know, that's going to pay really nice. Ryan Munger did a great job as a rider.
A commanding win in the
James
final
was
race
really
to
close here at
Sword,
10
who
to
has
1.
looked up to
I
the
know.
He had win on
James,
the
More
9 and
scored.
9 all exacta.
did you
was
wheel
raced
it, James, or did you
by
just do
Angela
9 all
Rutledge,
on top?
and the winning trainer is Michael Wright.
Hopefully you backed
Jr.
it up. Dick Bush,
Ryan
thank you
Munger
so
taking
much,
this
my
chestnut
friend.
3-year-old filly to a breakthrough win here today.
Good
Is
night,
by
Alex, my
Exaggerator
friend.
from Fantastic Score, which it was. And Richard Forbush and Exaggerator Syndicate bred the winner in Kentucky. And Scored is now a winner.
See you soon, Dick. Thank you, sir. 3 to 2 over 10 to 1. This is going to pay nice, Leo. I think it's going to pay a lot better. This Woodbine one. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Thanks, Paul. Have a great night, bud.
Well, I
Or
mean,
morning.
the,
I should
the,
say-
four, the 4-9 exacta was actually lower than I thought because somebody must have put money on this 9 because the
Yeah.
the 410 was the lowest at 23.
Wow,
And
look
the
at that
4-9
try, though.
prices, there was just a lot of
273.80.
money on Score
Yeah,
at
that's
the
still
end. I mean,
great for a
yeah,
dollar.
No, the
certainly
try
was a
is decent.
possibility she would
273.
run as the
Gotta love
favorite
that.
at 3 to 1 at one point, and now she's paid.
Look
But
at
that
that. You got
exact
273.
actually got
Nice
paid.
job,
was
Leo.
for the win. So that came in really at the jump or after. Mrs.
Well
Benjamin,
done,
number 3,
Leo. That's great.
1360 to show. That exacta with Miss Waterloo, 4-9, 31 even. The try.
Heck yeah, Leo. $273. We'll take that anytime.
Oh, absolutely.
Good job.
Great job, Leo.
Great hit.
Great way to finish. Thank you. So thank you to everybody who joined us tonight.
Absolutely.
And always glad to see not only us winning, you guys winning, which makes our night even better. Exactly. So, exactly. And that was a fun night. We were close there. We had close, but no cigar there. But that's okay. After that last one, exactly. There we go, my friend. So,
But it looks like, as far as I know, Sean, we'll be back in the lounge next Thursday as well,
yes,
right?
we will. Yeah.
So we'll
yeah.
be here next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Remember, Friday and Saturday, we're
Yep.
going to run special editions of the Cocktail Lounge for the Breeders' Cup races. Make sure you join
Absolutely.
us. Be here all weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
Grab your drinks, chill them up, get your beverage of choice. Come join us in the lounge. Hopefully we can do what we did this week, especially with all the Breeders' Cup races. We did pretty well with that last year and had a couple of decent hits. So hope to see you next weekend.
See you, everybody.
Have a great night.